Dorado, Arkansas. This is El Dorado. It is game day and live from First Financial Field at Memorial Stadium in El Dorado, Arkansas. This is El Dorado Wildcat Football coverage at South Arkansas Now and SouthArkansasNow.com. The Wildcats are back at home at Memorial Stadium after defeating West Memphis on the road. Tonight, the 5-3 Wildcats face off with the 4-4 Jonesboro Golden Hurricanes. Our coverage tonight is brought to you in part by Glenn Mechanical, when you want the job done right the very first time. ProMed Ambulance, world-class care and hometown values. Equipment Share, find out how easy the job can be with Equipment Share. Dyson Service Company and your local Lennox dealers. This is what perfect feels like. Union Kennel and Farm Supply. No one has more corn, rice bran, and feed for your hunting season. Cartie, we're with you. Cross Roofing, put a solid future above your head. Harrison Financial Management, your future, their commitment. The Carl Malone family of dealerships. Once again, the mailman delivers. Lanxess, know what's below, call 811 before you dig. El Dorado Custom Carpets, covering the floors, kitchens, and bathrooms of South Arkansas for nearly 50 years. Cadence Bank, opportunity lives here. Cook's Body Shop, bad things are going to happen, and when they do, look to Cook's. Country Village Sporting Goods. Everything you need to get you to the water or the woods is at Country Village. Davis Farms Country Market. True, grown locally and farm to table fresh. Especially for you. Anyone can buy a gift card. The best gifts are made especially for you. Jason Hardy State Farm. Like a good neighbor, Jason Hardy and State Farm is there. LSB Industries. Find your extraordinary at lsbindustries.com. Murphy Arts District. For the latest information on concerts and events, go to eldomad.com. The Rushing Law Firm. Stop the harassing phone calls and collections when you have someone in your corner. That's the Rushing Law Firm. Southern Sass Image and Design. The official photographers for South Arkansas Now and SouthArkansasNow.com. Off the Rail Cafe. What's better than Arkansas chocolate gravy or shrimp and grits? Eating them in a rail car built in 1883. U.S. Senator Tom Cotton. You want to know more about your U.S. Senator? Go to TomCotton.com. Timber Lane Meat Market. Buy local, eat often at Timber Lane Meat Market. Madhouse 101. From romantic date nights to live entertainment, check out madhouse101.com. Mystic Creek Golf Course, the #1 rated golf course in Arkansas. For tee times and availability, go to golfmysticcreek.com. PCI, Arkansas Business of the Year. Are you ready to take your career to the next level? Apply today at polypales.com/careers. And now, let's go live to First Financial Field at Memorial Stadium, along with Jax Sanford. Welcome back to the booth, our guest play-by-play caller and co-owner of South Arkansas Now, Sandy Sanford. Hey, and welcome to Memorial Stadium and First Financial Field. I am Sandy Sanford along with Jax Sanford, and welcome here for tonight's contest between the El Dorado Wildcats and the Jonesboro Golden Hurricanes. It has been 13 years since I've been in the booth calling a Wildcat game. And matter of fact, the last Wildcat game I called was a state championship win for the Wildcats.
That's right.
I believe that was Clayton Waldron.
Was Lucas Reed.
Was Lucas the quarterback?
Lucas was the quarterback, as we were corrected last week.
That's right.
I was off the cuff just thinking it was Clayton, and I was wrong.
So, anyway, it is my pleasure to be back in the booth, and, of course, standing alongside Jax Sanford, who is not only my oldest son, but is your color commentator every week, and, of course, is the host of Fifth and Goal, the weekly coaches show, live from Mystic Grill. And, Jax, I'm going to tell you, it's a beautiful night for football. You know, we start the season, Boomer and I were talking about this. I said, you know this from experience, Boomer. You start the season getting sunburnt because you're in the sun and wearing sunglasses and shorts and a polo. You end the season wearing something that you can stay warm in as the nightfall comes along. It's going to be a great night for football.
You're right. It is going to be a stupendous night for football. The weather is nice and crisp. It's not too cool out. It's definitely not too warm out.
No.
The sun's starting to go down, and it's senior night for
Yes.
Plenty of not just football players for the Wildcats, but senior night for any athlete
yes.
Across El Dorado High School. They're getting recognized tonight in front of the stadium, and I know that that's going to bring a lot of energy to this crowd coming into tonight's game. And tonight's game does hold a lot of stakes to it.
It does, and we'll talk about that in just a few moments. Hey, do want to make a couple of little program mentions here. First of all, thank you for being with us, whether you're on SouthArkansasNow.com, on our Facebook feed, or our YouTube channel. Any of those, thank you so much for being here with us. Tonight, we also have the added pleasure, Jax, of we are broadcasting over terrestrial radio in Jonesboro at KNEA. And my good friend Scott Seiler said, hey, we scraped the absolute bottom of the barrel and we still couldn't find anyone. Can you do the game? And I said, okay, sure. I've been waiting for you to call. No, that's not what he said. But we are very happy to welcome along our crowd at KNEA in Jonesboro. Now, I do want to pass along a couple of notes that I was asked to pass along. And one of those is your normal play-by-play guy for KNEA in Jonesboro is Bud Sropel. And he's recovering from open heart surgery. But the good news is he's doing great. And they wanted everyone to know that they're doing great. Here on our side at South Arkansas Now, this is the Jason Hardy pregame show. Jason Hardy and State Farm, always there. And Jax, you know a whole lot more about it with your State Farm logo next to your Batman logo. But talk a little bit about Jason Hardy and State Farm.
Yeah, I mean, well, when you're dealing with State Farm, you know that you're dealing with State Farm. You're getting one of the best, if not the best, in the business as far as it goes, covering your home and auto, RV, camper, boat. I mean, it doesn't matter. If it can be covered, call Jason Hardy or myself over at State Farm. And Jason Hardy has just a fantastic team. He has probably the best team in all of South Arkansas, if not just the entire country. Got just really good people who make sure that they are on top of their service, making sure that when you get a quote, it's as accurate as possible and as low as possible. So thank you so much to Jason Hardy State Farm, and just give those guys a reach out next week if you're needing a quote for your home, boat, truck, camper, whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Whatever it is. Reach out to Jason Hardy State Farm. That's 870-863-8278, or go to www.jasonhardyinsurance.com.
Now, for our friends who are listening over the air at KNEA in Jonesboro, your pregame show is actually brought to you by First National Bank. They are the pregame sponsor, where they put you first. First National Bank in Jonesboro. So thank them for being a sponsor of the radio broadcast back in Jonesboro. Jax, I was thinking about it earlier today, and, we were talking about, you mentioned it a moment ago, and that is there's a lot of implications on this game tonight. And we're going to tell you what those implications are when we have our keys to the game. That's going to be coming up in just a matter of moments. Again, for those of you listening via radio at KNEA, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. For the rest of you here at South Arkansas Now and SouthArkansasNow.com, we'll be back after these few commercial messages.
Starts with preparation, takes some skill, and often even a little luck. Country Village Sporting Goods is your headquarters for all three. Right now, check out a brand new shipment of feeders, so new that they're still pulling them out of the boxes. A huge selection of lacrosse boots and plenty of warm weather camo for that early season hunt. And of course, bow hunters can't go wrong with the sales and service at Country Village Sporting Goods, 965 Smackover Highway in El Dorado.
You're tough, determined to take challenges head on. But when cancer strikes, you'll need more than strength. You'll need the right care. We provide the tools you need to fight and the compassionate care you need to keep going. Every step of the way. Carti. We're with you.
Bad things happen, and of course, they never happen at the right time. Maybe it's just a little bump and cosmetic damage, or it's turned into a huge insurance claim and you just don't know where to go next. That's why so many of your neighbors and friends call on Cook's Body Shop in El Dorado. From the minor to the major, Cook's Body Shop is in your corner. Need someone to help you deal with insurance? Look to Cook's. Need advice on what to do next? Look to Cook's. Need a free estimate? Look to Cook's. Bad things are going to happen, and when they do, look to Cook's.
It's now time for Keys to the Game, brought to you by the Carl Malone family of dealerships. Once again, the mailman delivers. With over 200 brand new vehicles and more than 150 previously owned vehicles, you're always sure to find what you want at Carl Malone family of dealerships. Now, let's go back to the stadium for today's Keys to the Game.
Hey, and welcome back here to the ProMed Ambulance Press Box. That's where we are. And again, thanks to our friends at ProMed for sponsoring tonight's game. And we again welcome those of you who are listening via KNEA in Jonesboro. We welcome you back to the broadcast as well. And here we are talking about our keys to the game tonight, Jax. And I think it's boils down, it almost sounds like coach speak, but it's real simple. Take care of the football, fill your gaps.
That's right. I mean, and it does sound like coach speak, but it's the truth. It's the truth. And another really big thing that's going to take a huge factor in this game is Jonesboro has some really fast wide receivers.
They do.
And so El Dorado is really focusing this week on making sure that they keep those wide receivers in front of them on defense, not allowing the big explosive plays. We know that the El Dorado defense can be a very physical team, if not the most physical team in the state. And so that's going to play a huge factor into it. The Jonesboro Golden Hurricanes also do a very good job of running the ball. Their offensive linemen do a great job on pull blocks. And in fact, I think that we'll see a lot of pull blocking from the Jonesboro offensive line tonight. And another thing that they do really well is their quarterback has an arm. He can chunk it down the field to match his fast wide receiver. So that's going to be a huge thing. But at the same time, El Dorado has to come out and play their game and play the way that they know how to, especially on offense. With the slew of running backs that they have in the backfield, El Dorado can keep fresh legs.
Yes, and that's important.
At the running back position all night long, and that's going to play a huge factor into the game. And then Cannon, the quarterback for the El Dorado Wildcats, Cannon Jacobs, is going to have to also just play his game, play smart, protect the football. The thing is Jonesboro will go into man coverage at some point during the game, and if Cannon wants to bring big explosive plays for the El Dorado offense, he's going to either have to make them pay on the mismatch, or he's going to have to take off and run with the vision that we know he can.
And he does have great field vision, Jackson. That you keyed in on one of my keys to the game, and that is Cannon Lester. He's really come into Cannon Jacobs. I'm sorry. Yeah, gave Cannon Lester, the coach at South Ark. I gave him all the credit for that. Sorry about that. Cannon Jacobs, he has really come into his own this year. I mean, just watching the difference in him last week versus West Memphis versus that first week against Little Rock Christian, that's a totally different quarterback. He's a lot more comfortable in the pocket. He seems like he can feel pressure, and that's important. And I think it doesn't hurt that he also has figured out, for the most part, there's very few people in 6A who can catch him before he gets out of the backfield, and that's an important thing. He gives you that +1 running attack in the backfield.
Well, and you also have to remember that Cannon Jacobs did just commit to University of Arkansas Monticello, not as a quarterback, but as a wide receiver.
Yes.
So he can run hard, he's hard to bring down, and he runs with good field vision. So for the Hurricanes that are listening at home, the defense is going to be your defense is going to be a big key factor in this game as well, because this El Dorado offense is also very explosive, but the El Dorado offense also does a good job of just beating down their
wearing
opponents.
You down, yeah. And you mentioned it earlier, Jackson, and again, another one of my keys to the game, and that is the stable of running backs that El Dorado has. The El Dorado can send any of 5 running backs out there, and with the exception of one, with the exception of J.J. Samuel, there's no difference in the other 4.
Right.
They are all right there. Now, JJ, he's a different animal. I mean, he is first of all, he's a young man who squats 500 pounds as a running back. That tells you that his lower body and core strength is there. And you will notice tonight he is going to be very hard to bring down in most instances. If they don't put 2 people on him, or just get a really good wrap-up, they won't bring him down. He'll run through a would-be tackler. So those are some things that will, to me, that are keys to the game. El Dorado can keep running in fresh legs in the backfield. It may not show up in the first half, but if this is a close game come the second half like we kind of think it's going to be, then I believe that could be the difference in this game.
Well, looking at these two teams facing each other historically, and I know that you know a lot. I know that you know a lot about this from your travels to Jonesboro in the late 2000s, early 2010s. This has always been a really close, really hard-fought game for both sides, and I don't expect it tonight to be any different. Both of these teams are very good. Yes, they have some blemishes on their record. However,
they're playing in the toughest conference in football in Arkansas.
Exactly. There's not another conference in Arkansas that has the competitive level. I don't want to say competitive level, but nobody's as close to each other.
That's what I was going to. It's top to bottom. I mean, with the exception of West Memphis, and again, not taking anything away from them, they're now 0-8. But a number of those losses outside of last week's were one-score losses.
That's right.
They are on the cusp. And I have to hand it to them. Their athletic director was fabulous. He was very good to us and our team last week, very good to our broadcast team last week, and we commend him highly for that. But this is when you go top to bottom, maybe the exception being Greenwood, but there's not a whole lot of difference in who's going to be that number 1 seed and who's got that number 4 seed on your side of the bracket. I mean, obviously, the two best teams in the conference, in the state, right now are Greenwood and Benton. And we saw what Benton could do. That score was no indication of that game at all. That was a much closer game than that score indicated. So I'm interested to see tonight what happens when you have a very competitive game like you're going to have with these two teams. And you're right, Jax. The coldest I have ever been in my life, this is the honest-to-God truth, 2009, the day after Thanksgiving, I was in Jonesboro calling a playoff game between Jonesboro and El Dorado, and it was the state semifinals. The winner got to go to Little Rock for the state championship. It was 16 degrees at kickoff, and we were outside doing the game. I have never been that cold in my life.
That sounds absolutely miserable.
It was. As a matter of fact, we were staying in Memphis, and Jax and his brother and his mom, they were already at the hotel. We got to the hotel. I took a shower, got in the bed, and I was still cold, bone-chilled cold the next morning.
I believe it. Now, was that the same time that we went to Jonesboro that I forgot a jacket? Or was that the year before?
No, we went. That was a couple years later.
Oh, that was a couple years later.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely remember that. And also, I'm going to have a hard time of calling you Sandy tonight. I'll probably say, oh, yeah, I believe you're right, Dad, quite a few times.
That's fine.
But
I've been called worse.
You have been called much worse.
Recently.
I've heard some of those things.
Yeah. Hey, we're going to take a break. We're going to take a 2-minute break for our friends at KNEA so they know. We're going to take a 2-minute break. We'll come back. We'll have some more. We'll wrap up here at the Jason Hardy State Farm pregame show at South Arkansas Now and the First National Bank pregame show at KNEA. We're going to take a break. We'll be back in just a few moments right after this at SouthArkansasNow.com and KNEA Jonesboro.
Your home or business, trust the name that's been serving South Arkansas for 3 generations. Cross Roofing and Sheet Metal. From residential roofs to large commercial projects, the experienced team at Cross delivers quality you can see and reliability you can count on. Cross Roofing and Sheet Metal. Built on trust, proven by results. Call Cross Roofing today. Put a solid future over your head.
Homes are typically heated or cooled 24/7, 365. Using nearly half of all home energy, that new stainless steel refrigerator may look cool, but upgrading to the quietest and most efficient HVAC system can have much greater rewards. Choose a system with a Wi-Fi-enabled thermostat, so the most important appliance in the house is also the smartest, allowing you to set the perfect comfort level from anywhere. Presented by Lennox. Learn what perfect feels like at Lennox.com.
Need equipment for your next job? Don't settle for the traditional rental experience.
The rental experience with Equipment Share is a great experience. We rent everything from dozers to skid loaders, mini excavators, even smaller hand tools. They've always got what we need. They're timely. The billing is quick and accurate. The guys are able to set it up. They do it through their phone. I love Equipment Share. Renting with Equipment Share is not like any other company out there. It's 1,000 times better.
Spice up your tailgate with locally raised farm fresh products at Davis Farms Country Market, like the new Code 3 and Davis Double D Farm Salsa, fresh from the field in locally grown purple hull peas, super sweet vine ripened cantaloupes, Arkansas made meals that are easy on your wallet and your time. And nothing says fall has arrived like mums and pumpkins. There are plenty to choose from at Davis Farms Country Market, 4523 Junction City Highway, or call 870-639-1323.
And welcome, and welcome back here to the Jason Hardy State Farm pregame show here in the ProMed Press Box. I'm Sandy Sanford, along with Jax Sanford, and we're going to be bringing you the game here tonight at South Arkansas Now and over the radio at KNEA in Jonesboro. And we're very proud to be able to do this game for them. And tonight, Jax, I fully expect we're going to see a very physical game, especially in the trenches.
Especially in the trenches. And I actually wanted to get to that. You know, the Wildcats on the offensive line have a great deal of size, and so does the Jonesboro defensive line. And then when you flip the script and look at the Jonesboro offensive line, you've got big, fast offensive linemen, and then you've got strong, fast, with size defensive linemen from the Wildcats. So I think the trenches is going to be extremely physical and brutal tonight for both sides.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think one of the things that we're going to see as well is probably going to be maybe a little bit different look for the El Dorado defense. I noticed last week against West Memphis a couple of times El Dorado dropped into a nickel early. And normally you don't put that fifth defensive back in unless it's a definite passing down. I think El Dorado was daring them to run. And I think that was part of the game plan, was to try to get West Memphis to attempt to run the ball. And when they couldn't, then they weren't sure of their passing game because they were scared of that nickel back or that fifth defensive back out there. I think we could expect to see probably something a little different from the defense again this week for El Dorado.
I agree. And when you have linebackers like Bratavian Brown and Jacory Lumsey on the Wildcat defense, it's a lot easier to go into a nickel set because you've got guys who play with a high IQ, and nobody in the state of Arkansas hits as hard as Jacory Lumsey. I'm convinced.
I agree.
I'm convinced. And so I think that you're right that we will see some different looks from the Wildcat defense with an extra defensive back, and I expect to see a lot of high safety looks from the Wildcat defense tonight, and that is one of the things that this Wildcat team has focused on when playing teams that really like to pass the ball, and we saw it against Sylvan Hills. Now, El Dorado did take a 10-25 loss against Sylvan Hills, but you did see a lot more of those high safety looks from the Wildcat defense, and I expect to see that tonight again as well.
You know, thinking back on that Sylvan Hills loss, I am not speaking for anyone else. I just believe that if this coaching staff had the chance to play that game over again, we would have seen a totally different special teams than what we saw that night. That night, it was just especially not a good showing for our special teams. And I think we would have seen something much differently had they had the opportunity to play that again. It was definitely it was game planned well by Sylvan Hills. But even with all that being said, again, that was a one-score game until the final seconds of that game.
That's right. And I know that a lot of people want to discount El Dorado because they lost 2 games in a row to Sylvan Hills and then to Benton. But again, just you heard the names that I just said.
Yeah, exactly.
And now Sylvan Hills, although in previous years were winless for 2 years and only had a total of 3 wins over 3 years there, that program has completely turned it around with Coach Kelly taking the helm over. And I mean, that's a real state championship contender right there. Like you said earlier, there's not really that much separation between the 1 seed and the 4 seed in 6A this year.
And what's on the line tonight is a guaranteed 3rd seed.
That's right.
So the winner of tonight's game has a guaranteed 3rd seed for the playoffs. There are scenarios, though, Jax, where El Dorado could end up in the 1 or the 2 seed. Highly unlikely, but there are scenarios. But they have to start with taking care of business tonight, and that is fighting a good fight here against these Jonesboro Golden Hurricanes, which, again, I'm telling you, I believe we're going to see a very physical and a very competitive ball game.
I was talking about this game to somebody earlier today, and they were asking me, well, hey, man, we're not on the air. What's your honest opinion? And I gave them my honest opinion, and I can give it on the air, and that is that this is going to be a tough game for both ball teams. This is going to be a physical game. This is going to be and I believe this is going to be a close game. I thought about it just, playing different scenarios over in my head, and I just don't see either team just taking away or taking a lead and running away with it tonight. I think that both teams are ultra competitive and have the skill, the coaching, and the ability to come out with a win, whoever it may be.
I tend to agree with you, Jackson. And now, I thought the exact same thing, however, when we played Catholic. I thought we were going to see a very knockdown, drag out. I think we all believed it was going to be a low-scoring game, and then El Dorado came out and just ran the table. I just don't see that happening against this Jonesboro team. They are really that good. And for our viewers at home, you're like, well, y'all really touting Jonesboro. They're that good. I'm just telling you, they're a good football team.
Yeah, and they have a similar record to El Dorado.
Yeah, they're 4-4, and El Dorado's 5-3.
And they've taken some tough losses this year, but again, this is a stacked conference. And now the only thing is and I'll be a little partial here, being a homer, but the El Dorado defense just is that physical that if Jonesboro starts to rely too heavily on any one star player, it's going to be hard for that star player to get up off the turf time and time again.
I agree. One of the things that I do really like about El Dorado's defense is how physical they are. And like Bertavian Brown, for example, whom you and I know, we coached in baseball. He goes by the nickname Man-Man, and I've noticed even the coaches call him Man-Man. But Bertavian Brown, he does not fit the typical 6A linebacker build. He's not 6 foot tall, but he is so fast, and he is so physical. And I can't remember exactly which game it was, but it was a home game, and I think he had five hurries, 2 sacks, and like 11 tackles for loss that night. It was some crazy number.
That doesn't surprise me in the slightest about Man. I mean, you and I have known since he was, 8, 9 years old, that kid was a special athlete, and I expect to see big and great things from him tonight.
I tend to agree with you, Jax. As we look out here at the field, the team captains are going out to the middle of the field and getting ready for tonight's coin toss, and that'll determine where the ball goes first. El Dorado has pretty much started off the year. They want the ball,
which is definitely a flip of the script. If you go back 10, 15 years to when this El Dorado team was consistently in state championship games under Coach Scott Reed, where they almost always wanted to start the second half with the ball.
So it appears that Jonesboro has won the toss, and they will defer until the second half. We're going to take a 2-minute break. We'll be back with your opening kickoff right after this at SouthArkansasNow.com and KNEA Jonesboro.
50 years, South Arkansas floors have been covered by El Dorado Custom Carpets. And not just carpets, but true hardwood, laminate, stone, porcelain, ceramic, marble, and more. And guess what? It doesn't end with just floors. El Dorado Custom Carpets carries a tremendous selection of backsplash, wall tile, and area rugs. The truth of the matter is, one commercial can't come close to telling you everything you can find at El Dorado Custom Carpets, 1601 East Main Street in El Dorado. Call 870-862-4945.
With a name you trust, you can count on us. Glen Mechanical, plumbing, heating, and air.
For over 6 decades, Glen Mechanical has been specializing in HVAC, plumbing, and all mechanical jobs. 3 generations family-owned and operated since 1956. Glen Mechanical's business is based on relationships. They support and give back to the communities they work in. Contact them for all of your HVAC, plumbing, and mechanical needs. GlenMechanical.com.
Every gift tells a story, and at Especially For You, they help you make it unforgettable. Birthdays, wedding showers, baby showers, graduations, or just because. Especially For You creates one-of-a-kind gifts made to touch the heart. Anyone can buy a gift card, but the best gifts aren't bought. They're made at Especially For You. Stop by and visit Especially For You and find the perfect gift for life's special moments.
Derek Henry.
Hey,
Jake from State Farm. I saved so much bundling, it inspired my workout. Auto! Home!
Okay, and this is auto again, right?
Auto!
Hey, this is my living room.
Home!
Bundling, just another way to save with the personal price plan.
The dog isn't allowed on the couch, Derek.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to First Financial Field at Memorial Stadium in beautiful El Dorado, Arkansas. I'm Sandy Sanford along with Jax Sanford, here to bring you play-by-play in color tonight on this contest between the Golden Hurricanes of Jonesboro and the Wildcats of El Dorado, Arkansas. Again, thank you so much for being here. For those of you who are listening on our radio partner, KNEA, that is in Jonesboro. So that's KNEA, Jonesboro. Bud Sropel, who is your normal play-by-play guy, is recovering from heart surgery. He's doing well, and he wanted to pass that along. Please let my listeners know I'm doing well. He is doing well, but is missing tonight's game, and hope we wish him the best and give him a big shout out. And we know we can't fill his shoes, but we certainly lavish at the opportunity to try.
That's right. That's right. So welcome back to Memorial Stadium, where we're getting ready for another equipment share kickoff with everything from pipe fitters to excavators. Get your project kicked off right with equipment share.
Much looks like a, yep. We catch that ball out of bounds. With a fair catch, I don't know. I don't think it mattered because the penalty would have put it at the 35 or where it went out of bounds, Jackson. So that's where it's going to start.
And they just dropped the penalty there. Just saw them just literally drop the flag on the ground. So they are going to give a penalty there, and it's going to be a first down for the Wildcats there at the 38-yard line.
Yeah, there's no consequence to that penalty. Again, it was going to go to the 35 or where it went out of bounds, whichever is better, and that's where they're at. So the Wildcats come out in a three wide receiver set, one wing to the right. There's going to be play action across the middle. Oh, almost picked off, in and out of the hands of the receiver.
That's going to be number 2 for the Wildcats, that it went right through his hands, and it could have been a pickoff for the Jonesboro Golden Hurricanes. It was a little bit of a high, fast ball coming from Jacobs there, and that's going to set up a second down.
It'll be second down and 10 for the Wildcats from their own 38-yard line. 11:54 as we're just underway here in the first quarter. Wildcats with the ball. Jacobs calls for the ball, hands it off to the right side, going to get across the 40 up to the 44-yard line.
And that's going to set up a third and about 4 for the Wildcats. Oh, but there's a flag down on the field coming from the line judge.
Normally that's a lining up offsides or a procedure penalty.
Let's wait and see what they give the call.
It's going to go against Jonesboro. Face mask. It's a personal foul face mask. Wow.
So that's going to be 15 yards from the spot of the foul. That's actually going to give the El Dorado Wildcats a Glenn Mechanical first down, and it's going to place the ball in Jonesboro Golden Hurricane territory there on what looks to be the 42-yard line. So that's going to give the Wildcats good field position to start this set of downs at.
Jacobs in the shotgun, going to take the snap, hands it off. That's going to be forward for maybe a yard. I believe that was Jeremy Samuel on the carry. And they're going to give him no gain on that one. So it's going to be second down and 10.
J.J. Samuel tried to run up the gut there, and the Golden Hurricanes did a really good job of closing down the middle and stopping him at the line of scrimmage.
2 wide receivers, one to either side, wing to the right. Samuel in the backfield. Now he's going to throw across the middle, in and out of the hands again. Oh, my. Boy, would they like to have that one back. The intended receiver for El Dorado was Jackson Pagan. And just in and out of his hands, Jackson just couldn't quite hold on to it. And you know there's no one sicker about that drop ball than him.
And Jackson Pagan has been such a huge, impactful player for the Wildcats, maybe not because of his receiving, but he has been in the right place at the right time for the Wildcats several times. And it looks like we're going to get a substitution. Number 5, Bertavian Brown, is going to come in for J.J. Samuel on this play.
Third down and 10 for the Wildcats. Going to throw now. Hit as he lets go of the ball. It's caught across the middle at the 25. He's down to the 20. Gets inside the 20, down to the 17-yard line. And that's how you make up for it, Jax. That Jackson Pagan pulls that ball in, makes it another first down for the El Dorado Wildcats.
Well, when the Wildcats saw that they could run the slant across the middle there with Jackson Pagan and have an open look 3 times in a row, of course they're going to try and hit him again. That time he was able to reel it in. Big chunk of yardage for the Wildcats.
1st and 10 for El Dorado from the 17 of Jonesboro. Going to hand it off to the left side. That's Samuel looking to go. I'm sorry, I was Bertavian Brown. Nope, it was Samuel, my bad, as he's going to pick up about a yard, and that'll bring up 2nd down and 9.
2nd down and 9 from the red zone. The Wildcats are a running football team here. However, they've already passed the ball more times against Jonesboro than I've seen them pass on a first drive in all season.
10:23 remaining in the first quarter. No score as we're just underway here in El Dorado at First Financial Field Memorial Stadium. I'm Sandy Sanford along with Jax Sanford. From the shotgun, going to hand it off. No, going to play action. Goes out to the far side. That's Pagan. Going to shake off one defender, get inside the 10, and be brought down at about the 9-yard line. Jackson's going to leave 3rd down and about a yard.
And I could hear the screams wanting a penalty from the Jonesboro fans. However, there is not a penalty down on the ground, and that's going to set up 3rd and short for the Wildcats. 9:45 left to go.
Well, if there was going to be one, it was going to be defensive holding. Handoff up the middle, goes through to the end zone, touchdown, El Dorado Wildcats.
And that's a Murphy Arts District touchdown for the Wildcats. That's going to make a 6-0 lead for the Wildcats, barring an extra point attempt. And J.J. Samuel got into the end zone up the middle, almost untouched by the Golden Hurricanes defense. That drive went for approximately 62 yards for the Wildcats.
Extra point attempt coming up.
The snap was bobbled, but it does go up and through. It's good. That's going to make a 7-0 lead for the Wildcats. 9:38 left to go in the first quarter. We'll be right back after this break here in just a second at SouthArkansasNow.com.
When it comes to your family's financial future, peace of mind matters. At Harrison Financial Management, they are right here to help you plan, grow, and protect what matters most. Whether you're planning for retirement, investing wisely, or securing your family's future, they will guide you every step of the way. Harrison Financial Management, your future, their commitment.
At the Carl Malone family of dealerships, Ford El Dorado, Chevy El Dorado, Toyota El Dorado, and Carl Malone Toyota of Ruston, the mailman always delivers. With over 200 brand new vehicles and over 150 quality pre-owned options, you're sure to find the perfect ride. Looking to sell? We'll buy your vehicle. Paid on the spot. 4 dealerships, one name you can trust. Carl Malone. Because when it comes to great deals, the mailman delivers.
And welcome back here to First Financial Field at Memorial Stadium. I'm Sandy Sanford along with Jax Sanford. 7-0. El Dorado Wildcats on top. Onside kick attempt. Ball is bouncing in the air and bobble still on the ground. And finally recovered by Jonesboro at about their own 36-yard line. Jax, that was a dangerous kickoff.
That was indeed a dangerous kickoff. It went bouncing high in the air. A Golden Hurricane jumped up for it, took a hit in the air.
He had his hands on it.
Had his hands on it, fumbled before he came down to the ground. And so they're going to give him possession at the 37-yard.
Well, he had his hands on it, and it was when he was hit up in the middle of the air, it came out. Another Golden Hurricane recovered it. I'm sorry I didn't catch the number of whoever that was for them that did do that. But it is 1st and 10 for the Golden Hurricanes. They're going to go with an empty set in the backfield. 5 wide receivers, throw it out to the left side. Not a lot of room. Going to dance around a little bit. Not much room at all. If he got anything, it was maybe a yard, and they're not moving the stick any. I think we're going to see them just out. They're going to give him a gain of 1, so it'll be 2nd down and 9.
And about 4 or 5 Wildcats were there to make the tackle all at the same time. Golden Hurricane did a great job of dancing around, but there was just nowhere for him to go.
3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, going to hand it off. Going to try to go over the left side. Nothing there. Backs out. Now finds some room on the left side. Gets over on the sidelines. 1st down across the midfield stripe. He'll go out of bounds at the El Dorado 47-yard line.
And that was a huge explosive run for the Hurricanes, and it looks like they're trying to run a little bit of tempo, and they're waiting for the ball to be spotted. But Yeah, they're running tempo here.
1st and 10 for the Golden Hurricanes. Handoff goes towards the middle. Maybe a couple of yards there as he gets inside the 45-yard line to about the 44. And that should bring up 2nd down and about a long 6, short 7.
8:43 left to go here in the first quarter. 2nd down for the Hurricanes. They're in Wildcat territory now at the 47-yard line.
Taking the snap, hands it off, looking to go the middle, nowhere there. Makes to the right side, gets the 1st down, but pays dearly, Jax. I don't know who that was in on the tackle for El Dorado, but they stood him up at the 35-yard line.
And the Hurricanes are trying to run tempo here, waiting for the chains to get set so they can set in their next play.
There's a snap, handoff. No, play action. And he fooled everyone. He even fooled the officials. So the pass goes across the middle, and it is complete to the 20-yard line. That's a 15-yard completion.
Hurricanes continuing to run tempo here in the shotgun.
Pass out to the left side. There's some room. He's going to get it across the 10-yard line and be drug out of bounds at about the 9. They're going to put him out of bounds at the 9-yard line. That's going to be enough for a 1st and goal.
8:02 left here in the first quarter. Hurricanes slowing it down just a hair, getting some substitutions in.
Handoff to the left side, and it's nowhere to go. Going to be hit at the line of scrimmage, wrapped up there. I believe that was going to be Jalen Dunn, who was in the backfield just about the time the ball was handed off.
He did a phenomenal job of penetrating the line, and we're getting another substitution for the for the Hurricanes here. Going to get an extra receiver and taking out a tight end.
3 wide receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side, 1 man in the backfield. Jonesboro trailing 7-0, has the ball at the El Dorado 9-yard line. 2nd down and goal. Getting the snap, looking to throw. Here comes the pressure. He's going to loft it into the end zone, and he overthrows his man and was lucky that ball was not picked off.
Very lucky that ball was not picked off. He put it in a spot where nobody was, hoping his man's speed would be enough to get him the advantage there, and it was not. So that's going to set up a 3rd and goal, about 9 yards to go for the touch to the end zone here for the Hurricanes.
Jaquavian Hampton was the defender who nearly pulled that ball in for an interception. 3rd and goal, like you said, at the 9-yard line. 7-0 El Dorado Wildcats looking across the middle. Ball's batted down in the air. Incomplete pass. A helmet comes off. That was a celebration helmet, too. It wasn't that somebody had a hold of it.
Out of excitement, he just started jumping up and down. His helmet came off, which means he will have to come out for a play, but that's going to set up a 4th and goal, and it looks like the Hurricanes are going to send their field goal unit out on the field. There's 6 minutes and 42 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. Your Wildcats still lead 7-0 over the Jonesboro Golden Hurricanes, excuse me.
This is going to be about a 26-yard. We had it. El Dorado jumped.
And so instead of 4th and goal from the 9, it is now going to be 4th and goal from about the 5-yard line. And let's see, they haven't started moving anybody yet.
The call is against El Dorado. It is offsides. Did they decline the penalty? No, there we go. They're moving the ball now.
There it goes. And so, yeah, they're going to put them right between the 4 and the 5-yard marker. They're going to keep the field goal unit out here, but El Dorado might want to keep their eyes out for a trick play here.
Yeah, especially when you cut the distance in half. I mean, it would only make sense that it could certainly turn out that way. This is going to be about the ball is snapped and it goes over the place kicker's head. El Dorado was going to get the kicker himself. He recovers it back at the El Dorado 26-yard line. So El Dorado would take over 1st and 10 on technically a turnover on downs, Jax.
That's right. It was a high snap. It got through the placeholder's hands. Kicker was able to recover it himself, but the Hurricanes are kicking themselves right now because they could have had 3 points on the board. However, they've given the ball back to the Wildcats.
El Dorado will come out 1st and 10. They spot the ball officially at their own 27-yard line. 6.5 minutes remain in the first quarter. 7-0 El Dorado on top in this contest between the Wildcats and the Golden Hurricanes of Jonesboro. Play action. Going to keep it himself. And he's going to get through and past the 30 up to the 34-yard line. And Jacobs Nice run, and picks up about 8 yards on that, Jax.
Like we said before the game, Cannon Jacobs can run the ball, and he's hard to bring down. So that's going to set up a 2nd and about 3 for the Wildcats here. And they've got 4 wide receivers out on the field, a lone running back in the backfield with Cannon.
Second short is always the time. If you want to put something downfield, that's the time to do it. Empty the backfield now. Going to throw it over to the far side. It's complete. Gets across the 35 and out to the 40-yard line. He'll be pushed out of bounds just shy of the 40, but that will be enough for another Glenn Mechanical first down.
I always love to see when Coach Hill sends J.J. Samuel in motion to be a blocker. J.J. is such a strong guy. Again, squats over 500 pounds. If you've got him in motion with momentum coming in to make a block, it's going to be hard to get through him.
Nose of the football on their own 40-yard line. El Dorado up 7-0 with 6 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Here's the snap, going to hand it off, going to try to come to the near side, found some running room across the 45, out to about the 49-yard line, a 9-yard pickup, Jax, and very close to another first down.
And that ball was carried by J.J. Samuel, number 6, the running back for the Wildcats, who is the only returning all-state athlete on the Wildcat offense this year.
2nd down and very short. 4 wide receivers, 1 man in the backfield. Jacobs looks over the defense, puts a man in motion now. Jacobs is going to keep it. He's going to wind his way through the line of scrimmage. Gets the first down across the 45 down to the 42-yard line of Jonesboro, and that's another Glenn Mechanical first down.
Not something that you typically see, a quarterback sneak up the middle on 2nd and short, and Cannon was able just to power through, get a good chunk of yards there for the Wildcats, puts them in Jonesboro territory now.
1st and 10 Wildcats, 5:08 remaining here in the first quarter. El Dorado on top 7-0. Jacobs in the shotgun, 1 man stands beside him. 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Jacobs has time to throw. He's looking cross deep down the field and overthrows his man. And good thing, because if he threw that ball on target, that ball was picked off.
That's right. Number 18, the free safety for the Golden Hurricanes, was back there to make the play, and
he read that perfectly.
Had it not been an overthrown ball, that is a pickoff all day.
Now, you like the fact that Jacobs had all that time to throw, but when he has that much time, it gives the safety too much time to get there.
That's right.
2nd down and 10 for the Wildcats. Going to hand it off to J.J. Samuel. He's going to get to the 40-yard line, maybe a yard. They're going to put him at the 41, so it'll bring up 3rd down and 9 for the Wildcats.
And that was number 25 from the Golden Hurricanes on the tackle there on J.J. Samuel, setting up a 3rd and 9 with 4:33 left to go here in the first quarter, and you've got twin receivers off to the right.
3 wide receivers, 2 at the top of your screen, 1 at the bottom. Play action, going to throw across the middle field. It's complete. 35. He's going to get down inside the 30, and that's enough for another Glenn Mechanical first down, and that was Jackson Pagan again on the reception.
Well, one of the things is that the Golden Hurricanes do run a lot of cover 3, and one of the susceptibilities to cover 3 is going to be that slant or drag route or the seam, and so Jackson Pagan has done a good job so far of reeling them in.
7-0 Wildcats. There's a handoff going to go over the left side, pick up about 2 yards on the run. J.J. Samuel is going to make it 2nd down and 8. The ball will be placed at about the 27-yard line of Jonesboro.
That was number 97 from the Golden Hurricanes on the tackle there. And J.J. Samuel is going to stay in the backfield for this down as well.
4 wide receivers, 3 to the top of your screen, 1 at the bottom. Now we're going to empty the backfield. Oh, that ball was snapped. I don't think Jacobs was anticipating the snap yet. He's going to complete the pass, however, as he gets it out to Cortland Rozier.
And that's going to set up a 3rd and about 5 for the Wildcats with 3:20 left to go here in the first quarter.
Ball squarely on the 24-yard line of Jonesboro. 7-0 El Dorado, 3:12 left here in the first quarter. Welcome to those of you who are listening via radio at KNEA in Jonesboro. Man in motion coming from the top of your screen to the bottom. Jacobs now checks the defense. He's going to audible at the line of scrimmage.
And they're going to put
Play
a little bit more
down
press
to 3.
coverage.
They're going to have to call a timeout. They do. They call a timeout. Let's take it with them. We will be back in exactly 1 minute. You're listening to El Dorado Wildcats and the Jonesboro Golden Hurricanes at KNEA, Jonesboro, and SouthArkansasNow.com.
Whether it's protecting families from the predators in nature, to helping food taste better and last longer naturally, or just making sure the local ball field is at its best, Lanxess is involved in our everyday lives. With more than 450 employees locally and more than $32 million in payroll each year, Lanxess is doing their part to be a good neighbor and leader in South Arkansas. With that in mind, remember to call before you dig. Know what's below. In Arkansas, it's the law and it's a free service. Call 811 before you dig. This brought to you by Lanxess.
And welcome back to First Financial Field in El Dorado, Arkansas at Memorial Stadium. I'm Sandy Sanford along with Jax Sanford. 2:51 remaining in the first quarter. El Dorado with the ball at the Jonesboro 24-yard line, leading 7-0. Option play comes out to the left side. J.J. Samuel's going to get maybe 2 yards. It's going to bring up 4th down and a long 3, Jax.
And so they're going to place the ball at about the 21, 22-yard line for the Wildcats here. Oh, the 23-yard line. And so and they're going to keep the offense out on the field. This Wildcat team has not really been one to run a whole lot of special teams on 4th down so far this year, taking a page out of the Pulaski Academy special teams book. So you've got trips receivers up on the top of your screen, empty backfield with J.J. Samuel in motion.
Pitched out to the right side, and it's not going to get there. That's going to be a loss of about 1 yard, and that will be a turnover on downs for the Wildcats. And Jax, that I don't know what the play call was there, but it did not work out the way they intended.
Well, they've run that play a couple times so far, and it looks like the Golden Hurricanes were finally able to pick up on it, get through the blockers and make a tackle in the backfield there. And so now the Wildcat defense is going to come out while the Golden Hurricane offense is going to come out tonight. And there is 2 minutes and 8 seconds left here in the first quarter as the Hurricanes take possession at their own 25-yard line.
1st and 10 for the Golden Hurricanes. 2:08 remaining in the first quarter. 7-0 El Dorado, your score. From the shotgun, man in motion, got a little just misdirection. Sorry about that, got tied up. A little counter trap play. It's going to pick up about 3 yards and put the ball up at about the 29-yard line. So it'll be officially a 2-yard gain, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 8.
Didn't see a whole lot of movement from the ball by the time they had blown the whistle dead, and Jonesboro is going to continue to run in a tempo offense.
Handoff left side. He's going to get across the 30, and he stood up right there. Maybe the pile pushes forward to about the 32. Depends on where they mark him at, Jax, but it could be 3rd and short.
And Ja'Cory Lumsey was the man who got in there, made the tackle, and so that is going to set up a 3rd and short with 1:28 left to go here in the first quarter.
3rd down and short. Call coming in from the sideline for Jonesboro Golden Hurricanes. They have the ball at their own 32-yard line. Hand it off, left side, plenty of running room. It may not be anyone who can stop him unless Bertavian Brown can catch him. He's on his tail, but is it enough? No! Touchdown, Golden Hurricanes.
He was able to get it explosively out to the left side. There was nobody back deep for the Wildcats. It's a huge explosive play for Jonesboro here, and so that's going to make it a 6-7 game, barring an extra point attempt from the Golden Hurricanes. Now, a big thing here is can they get a good snap off and allow the kicker to actually kick the field goal this time?
We have officials calling the play dead out on the field. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm not sure anyone knows what's going on other than maybe the guy in the white hat.
They never stopped the game clock. Yeah, by the time he had scored, it was maybe about 58 seconds left on the clock, and as of right now, they're showing
37, yeah. They move it back to 52 seconds. Of course, the back judge is the one who's responsible on the field for keeping the time, and so he's the one who would notice that and tell the official. Extra point attempt upcoming here for the Golden Hurricanes. El Dorado jumped off sides again, no flag. I think we're going to have a whistle. Nope, they're going to call it good. 7-7 is your score. We will be back with more El Dorado Wildcats, Jonesboro Golden Hurricanes right after this at SouthArkansasNow.com and KNEA Jonesboro.
Located on 1,400 acres amidst Union County's scenic timberlands, LSB Industries' largest manufacturing facility and its employees have been a part of the El Dorado community for more than 40 years. Working together as one team, we are proud to call El Dorado home.
If you born and raised in Arkansas, make some noise right now. You got
place they've built right here in your town.
Welcome back to First Financial Field at Memorial Stadium in El Dorado, Arkansas.
Get ready for another equipment share kickoff.
This one's going to be kicked off and fair caught for the Wildcats at their own 34-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Wildcats starting from there. 7-7 is your score. He's Jax Sanford. I'm Sandy Sanford. Thank you for watching us here at SouthArkansasNow.com, our Facebook feed, or our YouTube channel, any of those three. Also, to our friends in Northeast Arkansas who are listening via KNEA in Jonesboro, thank you so much for tuning in as well.
And they're going to have Bratavian Brown coming in as the running back start out this drive for the Wildcats.
1st and 10, El Dorado from their own 33-yard line. Jacobs in the backfield. Brown stands to his right now. Brown's going to go in motion, empty the backfield, 5 wide receivers. Looking to throw. Jacobs nowhere to go with the ball. He's going to have to try to run out of trouble. Gets away from one man, looking way downfield, still looking, going to have to try to find something, make it happen, runs out of bounds, back at about the original line of scrimmage, Jax. He ran 40 yards to gain none on that one.
He got in a little bit of trouble there in the pocket, and he has the wheels to avoid the sack there and is able just to get right back to the line of scrimmage, set up a 2nd and 10 with 40 seconds left to go here in the first quarter as the score is tied 7-7 between your Golden Hurricanes and your El Dorado Wildcats.
Yeah, the thing was the pocket held up as long as the pocket was supposed to, plus a little. I don't know if he just didn't see what he was looking for out of the defense to make the pass or what, but it did not happen. Play clock down to 4, down to 3, down to 2. Finally get the snap off. There's a handoff. It's going to be J.J. Samuel over the right side. He's going to pick up a first down across the 40 up to the 45-yard line. And, Jax, that's a 12-yard gain and enough for another Glenn Mechanical first down.
As soon as you said that he was going to pick up the first down, I was thinking, and some. And so now they're going to substitute J.J. Samuel back out of the game, bring Bratavian Brown back in at running back.
Well, Brown has been proving his case to the coaches every week.
That's right.
And so he's getting plenty of playing time in the backfield. 1st and 10 Wildcats. Empty the backfield now. 5 wide receivers. Jacobs bobbles the snap. He's going to have to run it himself. He's looking to the near side to try to find some running room. He'll run out of bounds after about a gain of 2 yards. He'll go out of bounds at the 47. And, Jax, I have to tell you, yeah, it's a 2-yard gain, but guess what? It could have been about a 30-yard loss.
That's right. So he runs out of bounds with 5 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. It's 2nd down and 8 for the Wildcats with the ball on their own 47-yard line.
2nd down, 8 yards to go. And Jacobs will go back in the shotgun. One man stands back there with him. It's going to be a quarterback keeper. Jacobs keeps it across the midfield stripe, gets down near the first down. He's going to go down at the 41-yard line, and that's going to be the end of the first half. 7-7 is your score. We will take 60 seconds and be back after this at SouthArkansasNow.com and KNEA in Jonesboro.
Rated the #1 course in Arkansas by Golf Week, Mystic Creek is truly a hidden gem, complemented by a modern clubhouse, complete with panoramic views. It also features a fully stocked pro shop and Mystic Grill serving contemporary American cuisine and Southern classics. Mystic Creek promises an unforgettable experience.
PCI has been shaping the future of manufacturing for over 40 years, and they're doing it right here in El Dorado, Arkansas. PCI is one of America's leading producers of polyethylene containers, known for quality, innovation, and teamwork. Join a fast-paced, rewarding career where your work keeps the world moving. And because PCI is a veteran-owned company, they value things like dedication, diversity, and drive. Are you ready to take your career to the next level? Apply today at polypails.com/careers.
And welcome back to El Dorado, Arkansas, here at First Financial Field in Memorial Stadium. I'm Sandy Sanford along with Jax Sanford. Beginning of the second quarter, 7-7 is our score, all tied up. El Dorado Wildcats have the ball third and 1 from their 44 of Jonesboro.
And it looks like the Hurricanes defensive line was getting a little talking to from the head referee tonight.
Yeah, the White Hat certainly had something he wanted to get off his shoulders, get off of his mind there. Handoff. El Dorado going to look for a first down. Man, if he got it, it was barely. Just going to depend on the spot of the ball. I believe from that spot, it is going to be enough for another Glenn Mechanical first down. Yes, they are moving the chains.
They are going to move the chains, so it will be a Glenn Mechanical first down for the Wildcats. They've got the ball in Golden and Hurricanes territory now on the 45-yard line.
First and 10 for the Wildcats. 11:52 and counting remaining here in the first half. 7-7 is your score. And, Jax, the first quarter proved to be everything we said it would be, a very physical and very close football game.
That's right, and Jonesboro has had a big explosive play so far, and the Wildcats have continued to march down the field.
Empty the backfield now, 5 wide receivers. Throw it out to the far side, complete. It's going to go to 45-40, 35-30, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds at the 26-yard line. What a hit. When we told you this game was going to be physical, Jax, that's what we meant.
You heard the Jonesboro sideline get pumped up after that hit. Number 12 for the Wildcats was the one on the reception there. Took a big hit there, and they're actually going to go ahead and let him get some time on the sideline, recover from a hit like that.
That's enough for another Glenn Mechanical first down. First and 10 for the Wildcats. Ball placed at the Jonesboro 27-yard line. Jacobs takes the snap. Going to keep it himself. Going to find a running lane in the middle. Gets across the 25 and across the 20. He's going to be down at about the 18-yard line, Jackson. That's going to bring up second down and short.
Going to bring up second and 2, second and 1 for the Wildcats here, and they've liked to keep the ball with Jacobs here and run a spread offense on second and short here. So let's see what they decide to do on this go round.
That's simply a quarterback read. He's watching the defensive ends and to see where they're at. Handoff goes up the middle. Going to be enough for another Glenn Mechanical first down. Ball goes inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. Samuel picking up about 4 on the carry.
Samuel has continued to be a workhorse for this Wildcat offense this year, and now they're going to bring Samuel out of the game and put Ja'Cory Lumsey, number 1, the middle linebacker for the Wildcats, in at running back.
That's a guy I would not want to have to try to tackle.
No, not me.
3 wide receivers for the Wildcats. 1 man in the backfield, 1 wing to the right. Handed off. That's going to come over the right side. Gets across the 10, across the 5, and drugged down at about the 4-yard line. And that's going to be very close to another Glenn Mechanical first down.
And they are going to move the chain, so it is going to be a first down. It's going to set up first and goal for the Wildcats here. 10 minutes and 29 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. Score tied 7-7.
Handed off right side, looking for some running room, pushing the pile. Does it go in? Yes! Touchdown, El Dorado Wildcats.
And that is a Murphy Arts District touchdown for the Wildcats. For more information, go to eldomad.com. So that's going to make it 13-7. Wildcats take the lead here, and they are going to go for the extra point attempt here to make it a 14-7 game here in the second quarter.
That drive for El Dorado did not take a lot of time, but it was very physical. That's the kind of drive that wears a defense down. Snap is back. Kick is on the way. I think that ball was tipped, but it is good.
It had to have been tipped.
14-7 is our score. 10-19 remaining in the first half. Back with more El Dorado Jonesboro action after this at SouthArkansasNow.com and KNEA Jonesboro.
serving South Arkansas for 25 years, and all the while expanding and growing throughout the state. ProMed Ambulance is proving their motto of world-class care and hometown values. For example, their new mobile integrated healthcare communication center. This state-of-the-art facility allows communication specialists to work directly with local 911 call centers to ensure the closest medical team is always dispatched to any emergency. World-class care and hometown values. For more information and career opportunities, go to ProMedAmbulance.com.
Non-stop phone calls, registered mail, repossessions, or threats of lawsuits from creditors, and it seems like no one is willing to let you hit pause and just catch your breath. You need the help of Robert Rushing and the Rushing Law Firm. Bankruptcy is not the end. It could be a chance for a fresh start. The Rushing Law Firm goes to work for you, letting you hit that pause button and start over. Call the Rushing Law Firm today at 870-875-2940 or stop by the office at 725 Northwest Avenue in El Dorado. The Rushing Law Firm.
Welcome back to El Dorado, Arkansas. Onside kick, and I believe the Wildcats have recovered that, Jax.
I believe so. The sideline's acting like it's recovered. Everybody's acting. What do the officials say, though? It doesn't matter until the officials come up and say.
It went more than 10 yards, and I saw a Wildcat come down with it. Now, what they called beyond that, I don't know. That ball was, it was a knuckleball that bounced. Oh.
And they are going to
give the ball to Jonesboro. This is where I would personally, I would like to see Coach Hill get a flag. I'd like to see Coach Hill get a flag on himself from going out there and asking him just what part of your orifices do you have your head that you didn't see that.
Well, I see some discussion between Coach Larry, the special teams coach, and an official there, but not anything too spectacular.
All right, it's 1st and 10, Jonesboro. They'll have the ball at their own 43-yard line. 2 wide receivers, 2 tight ends. Going to throw now. Comes across the near side. It's complete at the 48. He's driven backwards. They'll give him forward progress to the 48-yard line.
And 2 Wildcat defenders were able to get there and make the stop on the play. Were able to use their outside leverage coverage and ultimately just bring a stop. And Jonesboro is going to continue to run tempo here.
Handoff to the near side, and he's going to cut back to the middle, get across the midfield stripe, and be very close to a first down. I believe he has enough there, Jax.
And I believe you're right there, Sandy, and that he will have enough for the first down. No, they're not going to. Are they going to give it to him?
I don't know.
They're not.
They're going to get down in a yard. Play action, going to throw back to this side. He'll have the first down, and he'll be wrapped up and dropped immediately thereafter. Have the ball inside El Dorado territory at the El Dorado 42-yard line. About a 4-yard pass and catch there, Jax.
Well, and I believe Jonesboro is also taking a little bit of a page out of Sylvan Hill's book and noticing that tempo did have an effect on this Wildcat defense.
Handoff, go up the middle, plenty of run room. Oh, there, ball's down on the ground, and I believe El Dorado did come up with it.
And they're saying that he was down.
He was not down.
Oh, and this is when you wish that you could have a special or a replay camera.
I'm sorry for those of you who were watching. We had a camera malfunction there.
It is going to be 2nd down for the Hurricanes here.
Going to throw. Hit in the backfield and dropped.
And that is, if you're a Wildcat on defense there, that is exactly the kind of stop that you needed. After not getting the onside kick given to you when you believe that you were the ones who fielded it, and then not given the fumble when you believe that it was a fumble, it's going to set up a 3rd and about 11 here for the Golden Hurricanes. And there's a little confusion for the Hurricanes for a second here on the play call.
3rd down and 11. 8:40 and counting remaining here in the first half. 14-7 is your score. El Dorado on top. Play action, looking to throw, looking deep downfield. Has a man. If he can get it there, it's a score. He caught it and was brought down from behind at the 5. They're going to mark him at the 4-yard line. What an amazing catch.
Well, and I also just want to point out that the Hurricanes did do a little bit of celebration there, and the Wildcats were flagged for even less than that just a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I saw that as well. 1st and goal now. I'm going to hand it off, try to go up the middle, and he's going to get into the end zone. It's going to be a touchdown for Jonesboro, bringing the score 14-13 with 8:22 remaining here in the first half.
Jonesboro Hurricanes did a great job of just running up the middle, getting blockers in front of their man, and he was able to cross the threshold, get a touchdown there for the Hurricanes to set up that touchdown. And they're going to go here for the extra point. And now this Wildcat special teams unit has come very close several times this year to blocking a field goal, and they're looking for their second one so far this season.
For our radio partners, we have a 1-minute break coming up here in just a moment. The kick is on the way. The kick is up, and the kick is good. All tied up, 14-14. Back with more Hurricane and Wildcat football after this at SouthArkansasNow.com and at KNEA Jonesboro.
For longer than most of us can remember, Timber Lane Meat Market has been a staple of our community, where quality meats and friendly faces come standard. From everyday dinners to weekend cookouts, make it fresh, make it local, make it Timber Lane. Be sure to check out the daily lunch specials and like us on Facebook. Timber Lane Meat Market, 1336 West Hillsboro and El Dorado. Proud to be part of South Arkansas, and even more proud to be displayed on your table. More product than ever in the store history. That's what's happening at Union Kennel and Farm Supply. A huge sale is going on right now, including 50-pound bags of deer corn, only $6.50 per bag. 50-pound bags of rice bran, marked $1 off. No one, absolutely no one, has a better selection of small animals, birds, reptiles, saltwater and freshwater fish than Union Kennel and Farm Supply. 1100 West Hillsboro and El Dorado. Or call 870-864-9229.
Welcome back to Memorial Stadium in El Dorado, Arkansas. Here's a kickoff from the Golden Hurricanes to El Dorado. It's going to be fair caught at about the 38-yard line. Jackson will be 1st and 10 for Jacobs and his Wildcats from their own 38 with 8:22 remaining here in the first half and a tied game at 14-all.
I expect to see from the Wildcats here a lot of running plays. They're going to want to try and run as much clock off of the table as they can here, and then get the ball back. The Hurricanes are going to get the ball in the second half, so that might not be true what I just said.
Well, no, they're definitely going to want to. I mean, other than one play, Jonesboro's not moved the ball large chunks at a time down the field, so they're going to want to run off as much clock as they can and hopefully be able to keep Jonesboro out of the end zone if they kick it off to them after that. 1st and 10 Wildcats. Jacobs takes the snap, going to hand it off. That's Samuel. Hit initially, but then fights his way forward. Wow, what a run. When we tell you that the young man squats 500 pounds, now you see why that's important, because you see he just pushed that pile by himself, basically.
That's right. So that's going to set up a 2nd and 5 here for the Wildcats. And again, J.J. Samuel has just done a phenomenal job this year of powering through defenses and picking up an extra 3, 4, 5, 70 yards on a run.
Trips at the top of your screen, one man at the bottom, one man in the backfield. Jacobs from the shotgun, going to throw. It's complete out to the far side. He was blown up, hit as soon as he caught the ball.
Pagan on the catch, Jackson Pagan on the catch there. He was hit as soon as he caught the ball. He tried to fight forward, but ultimately he was tackled behind the line of scrimmage. So that's going to set up a 3rd and 8 with 7:31 left to go here in the first half for the Wildcats.
Ball is squarely on the 40-yard line. Jacobs looking to the sideline to get the call. Again, 3 receivers to the top of your screen, 1 at the bottom of your screen. Put a man in motion now. Empty backfield, going to throw. Coming on the far side, wide open, hits J.J. Samuel, breaks it across the 35 and across the 30. Was that not J.J. Samuel?
No, it was not J.J. Samuel. It was number, I can't tell. Is it number 9? Number 9 for the Wildcats. Number 9 for the Wildcats is going to be.
Yeah, that's Bronson Brock.
Bronson Brock, who has made a few huge plays for the Wildcats so far this season.
1st and 10 at the 25 of Jonesboro. Handed off, coming into the near side, met right at the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard on that run.
So that's going to set up a 2nd and long here for the Wildcats. 6 minutes and 40 seconds left to go here in the second quarter. The clock's going to continue to roll as they try to run the ball up the middle here.
2nd down, long 9, short 10. 6:30 left in the first half. 14-all is your score. Man in motion from the top of your screen to the bottom. Jacobs is going to throw. Has a man. Hits him at the end zone. Touchdown, El Dorado Wildcats. What a throw and what a catch.
You know, and that was Justin Hammett, number 7 for the Wildcats, who has continued all year to, even when the ball is in traffic, to go up and make the catch. That's another Murphy Arts District touchdown for the Wildcats. For more information, go to eldomad.com. 6:19 left to go here in the second quarter. Your score is 20-14, barring an extra point attempt from the Wildcats here. And they're prepared for the field goal block this time.
Yeah, they definitely lined up a little differently. That kick is on the way. It is up, and it is good. 1 minute. We'll be back after this. You're listening to El Dorado Wildcats and Jonesboro Golden Hurricanes at SouthArkansasNow.com and KNEA Jonesboro.
You're tough, determined to take challenges head on. But when cancer strikes, you'll need more than strength. You'll need the right care. We provide the tools you need to fight and the compassionate care you need to keep going. Every step of the way. Carti. We're with you.
Welcome back to Memorial Stadium in El Dorado, Arkansas.
We get ready for another Equipment Share kickoff with everything from pipe fitters to excavators. Get your project kicked off right with Equipment Share.
And here is the kickoff. It is going to be another attempted onside kick, and this one rolls out of bounds at about the 47-yard line. And, Jax, that was very close to being picked up again by the El Dorado Wildcats.
Again by the Wildcats is the key word there. However, however, it is going to go to, it did roll out of bounds, so it is going to go to the Jonesboro Hurricanes, and they are going to give them the ball there at the
49.
Yeah, 49-yard line.
Now, hold on a minute. We're marching it off.
That doesn't make any sense because
we didn't march off the one earlier that went out of bounds when Jonesboro kicked it.
Well, maybe it's because it didn't make the 10 yards.
It doesn't matter. We'll pick it up here. 1st and 10 for Jonesboro. They have the ball at the El Dorado 46-yard line. Going to throw. Chris across the middle of the field. Caught and brought down right as soon as he caught it, but it's going to be very close to a first down.
And that tackle was made by number 19, Jaquavian Hampton, for the Wildcats here. And Hurricanes are going to continue to run a tempo offense with a handoff up the middle.
We have whistles.
And they blow the play dead, which is usually an indicator of a false start, but we will wait and see what the call is.
Yep, it's going to be a false start penalty.
So that's going to be 5 yards from the spot of the penalty. That's going to be a repeat of down. So it is going to be 1st and 15 for the Hurricanes, and they're going to be from about the El Dorado 41-yard line.
21-14, El Dorado on top. 6:06 remain here in the first half. Hurricanes with the ball, as you said, at the 41 of El Dorado. Play action. Nope, going to hand it off on a little delay give over the left side. He'll pick up about 4 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down and 11 for Jonesboro.
Score is 21-14 with 5:45 on the clock, and the clock is rolling. And the Hurricanes have gone away from the tempo on their offense and now are waiting for play calls to come in from the sideline.
4 wide receivers, 1 wing. Going to hand it off up the middle. Plenty of running room. He's going to pick up down to the 30-yard line. Had they not been behind the chains, Jax, I think they would have been looking at a first down, but it's going to leave it 3rd down and about 4, maybe 3rd and 3 for the Hurricanes. The ball is at the El Dorado 29. We have a whistle, and I believe timeout has been called on the field. El Dorado has taken that timeout. We are going to hold it right here. We're going to hold it right here.
And just want to point out, Sandy is doing it all tonight, whereas he usually produces from the studio at home. He is producing from the booth tonight. So Sandy is just doing it all, being the Swiss Army knife of South Arkansas Now tonight, as he's getting everything ready. and just preparing all the breaks, preparing everything for you guys at home who are watching the game tonight.
Well, that's why a while ago you didn't have a picture on your screen, is because I screwed it up. So, I'm willing to admit my mistakes. 5:16 remaining here in the first half. Hey, want to tell you that tonight's game is also being brought to you in part by Especially For You. Anyone can buy a gift card, but if you really want your gift to stand out, then see our friends over at Especially For You. For more than 30 years, Especially For You has been creating unique, personalized gifts. Check them out online, efygifts.com. 3rd down and 3 for the Golden Hurricanes from the El Dorado 30-yard line. Going to have 3 wide receivers, 2 at the bottom of your screen, 1 at the top. For those listening on radio, Jonesboro is moving from the right to the left as you look at your radio dial. Handoff, going to try to go to the right side. Not a lot of room there. Maybe a yard on the carry. And that's going to bring up 4th down and a couple for Jonesboro.
And it looks like Jonesboro is going to keep their offense out on the field. They're going to bring in an extra tight end, sub out a wide receiver here. Load up heavy to the right.
Double tight ends to the right-hand side. 2 wide receivers, 1 to either side. Quarterback from the shotgun. Ball on the 29-yard line. 4:44 and counting remaining in the first half. 21-14, El Dorado on top. Here's the snap on 4th down. Handed off. He has the first down and more. He gets across the 25, across the 20. Going to be brought down at about the 19-yard line. About a 7-yard gain, enough for a first down.
It was a spectacular run up the middle by the Golden Hurricanes here, and they're going to go back to the tempo offense already set.
First down, handoff. No, play action pass thrown. Picked off across the middle. It's picked off at the 10. He's going to fight his way back across he was going to go across the 15, and then he started losing yardage, and he's going to be brought down. They're going to give him forward progress to the 12-yard line, but a big turnover there, Jax, in the red zone for the Wildcats.
Taking the ball away from the other team is always a plus for the defense, especially in the red zone. And
that is going to be Marsavius Ishmael.
Marsavius Ishmael has done a phenomenal job this season of just reading where the quarterback was wanting to go with the ball and picking it off. And so
that was a big turnover.
That was a big turnover, and so that's going to give the Wildcats the ball again with 4:04 left to go here in the first half. A score 21-14.
Now every coach has a 4-minute offense.
That's right.
That's what you're going to see here. You're probably going to see small dunk passes and runs, trying to eat up as much clock as possible. If El Dorado thinks that if they could go up by 2 scores, they don't mind having to give the ball up in the second half. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats from their own 11-yard line. Handoff left side. Going to get about 3 yards on the carry, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 7.
And I think the goal of the Wildcats here is going to be to run as much, if not all of the clock off here, go up by 2 scores, and go into the second half with momentum.
Tonight's game being brought to you by your U.S. Senator Tom Cotton. Want to know more about your U.S. Senator? Go to tomcotton.com. 2nd down and 7 for the Wildcats from their own 14-yard line. Jacobs is going to keep it. He's got a little bit of running room, gets across the 20, picks up the first down. He'll go down at about the 26-yard line. And as I said, Jax, that's another Glenn Mechanical first down.
Just a phenomenal job of Cannon to keep the ball there and to run with the tenacity that he does. He picks up a solid chunk of yardage. The clock's going to keep rolling. There's 3:15 left to go here in the first half.
21-14, your score, El Dorado on top. 3 wide receivers at the bottom of your screen. Now let's empty the backfield. Quads at the bottom of the screen. Going to throw. Found a man to this side. Oh, it hits him in the hands. Jax, Paxton Strong made the error of trying to run before the ball was all the way in. And he had open field. What he saw was all that open field, and he was ready to take off.
And it's really hard for those young guys to remember that first of all, the most important thing is to catch the ball. Second, let's try and get upfield. However, that is going to set up a 2nd down for the Wildcats here.
2nd and 10. 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 1 man in the backfield. Going to play action, going to hit a man across the middle. It's going to be complete. 35, 40, 45, 50. Cuts back outside. 45, 40. There comes the flags. Yeah, it's going to be a block in the back against El Dorado, but it's still going to be enough for a Glenn Mechanical first down.
That's right. So it's going to be, what is it? Is it 15 yards from?
Yeah, no, it's not going to be 15. I think that's going to be a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. And the spot of the foul is at the Jonesboro 47-yard line. Yeah, 10 yards from the spot of the foul. It's still going to be enough for a first down. Another Glenn Mechanical first down.
So although it's not quite the chunk of yardage that the Wildcats had originally gained there on the play, it is still going to be enough for the first down, and still a solid chunk of yardage for the Wildcats here. It's going to set up first down here with 2:52 left to go in the second quarter. Scores 21-14. Wildcats with the ball, still in their own territory at about the 44-yard line.
Jacobs barks out his call at the line of scrimmage. 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 1 man in the backfield. Jacobs hands it off. Going to go up the middle. Plenty of running room across the 50, across the 45. Another Glenn Mechanical first down, Jax, as he gets down to the 43-yard line of Jonesboro.
And that leaves 2:36 on the clock. They're going to stop the clock long enough, just long enough to move the chains.
They did not stop the clock at all.
Did they really not?
First and 10 for the Wildcats on the Jonesboro side of the field now. Jacobs going to get the snap. He's going to keep it himself. He's looking to the outside, and he's going to cut it back inside. He'll get down to the 36-yard line. That's a 6-yard pickup, and it brings up second down. Long 3, short 4 for the Wildcats.
And the clock's going to continue to roll here, just getting close to just under the 2-minute mark, and the Wildcats are continuing to march downfield, playing physically here.
Second down and short for the Wildcats. 21-14 is your score. El Dorado going to keep the ball this time. That's Jacobs. He's going to get the first down. He gets across the 30 and down to the 25-yard line before he's brought down. And, Jax, that's an 11-yard pickup, and that's enough for another Glenn Mechanical first down.
A great misdirection play there. Fake the handoff to Samuel. He runs off to the left. Jacobs keeps the ball, goes off to the right, picks up 11 yards, and that leaves 1:40 on the clock as it rolls here in the second quarter.
Wildcats with 2 timeouts remaining in this half. Empty the backfield now. 5 wide receivers. He's going to throw. Looks across, has a man wide open, hits him at the 10, at the 5. Touchdown, El Dorado Wildcats.
And that is a Murphy Arts District touchdown for the Wildcats for the 4th time tonight. That's going to make your score 27-14, barring an extra point attempt here from the Wildcats. 1:22 left to go here in the first half.
What a perfect play. You would think as many times as El Dorado has run that every receiver would have been covered, but not even close. He was wide open, Jax.
And I think the only reason the Hurricanes were able to make contact there as he was crossing the threshold was just how fast of players they have.
Oh, yeah, very fast players. 27-14. We're coming up on a 1-minute break for our radio partners. Snap is back. The kick is up. It's on the way. And that kick is good. 28-14, 1:22 remaining. El Dorado on top. We'll be back after this at SouthArkansasNow.com and KNEA Jonesboro.
Bad things happen, and of course, they never happen at the right time. Maybe it's just a little bump and cosmetic damage, or it's turned into a huge insurance claim, and you just don't know where to go next. That's why so many of your neighbors and friends call on Cook's Body Shop in El Dorado. From the minor to the major, Cook's Body Shop is in your corner. Need someone to help you deal with insurance? Look to Cooks. Need advice on what to do next? Look to Cooks. Need a free estimate? Look to Cooks. Bad things are going to happen, and when they do, look to Cooks.
When it comes to protecting your home or business, trust the name that's been serving South Arkansas for 3 generations, Cross Roofing and Sheet Metal. From residential roofs to large commercial projects, the experienced team at Cross delivers quality you can see and reliability you can count on. Cross Roofing and Sheet Metal. Built on trust, proven by results. Call Cross Roofing today. Put a solid future over your head.
Welcome back to First Financial Field at Memorial Stadium in El Dorado, Arkansas. Here's the kickoff. El Dorado's going to kick this one deep. And it's going to be fielded at about the 15-yard line. He'll run out of bounds. His momentum carried him straight out of bounds, Jax. He caught that ball out near the hash mark, but he was on the other hash mark. So when he had to catch that ball and bring it in, his momentum just carried him out of bounds, and he went out right at the 20.
And that was one of the better kicks that we've seen from El Dorado as far as a deep kickoff all year. They haven't really done a whole lot of those. They've stuck mainly to the squibs and the onsides, but we can see that they are able to get a deep
They do
kickoff.
have the ability. That's right. 28-14 is your score. 1:21 remaining here in the first half. El Dorado Wildcats are on top. Jonesboro with the ball now, moving from right to left for our radio partners as you look at your radio dial. First and 10 from their own 20-yard line. 2 men in motion. They have to wait for them to get set. from the shotgun now. Takes the snap, looking to throw, looking deep across the field. Has a man open on the sidelines and just out of his reach. And Jax, it's a good thing because I'm not sure anyone would have stopped him.
And there are no flags on the play. It was a good, clean play. And that's going to set up a 2nd down and 10 for the Golden Hurricanes here. 1:16 left on the clock with it stopped by the incompletion.
I'm going to try to get you some stats here at halftime. I will tell you this, that is the first incomplete pass for Jonesboro tonight.
Run up the middle there, and it stopped maybe a gain of about 2 yards for the Golden Hurricanes. That's going to set up a 3rd and about 7 for the Hurricanes.
And they officially mark him at the 23, so yes, 3rd and 7 for the Hurricanes. 28-14, under 1 minute remaining in the first half. I'm Sandy Sanford along with Jax Sanford. Thank you to our friends who are listening via radio at KNEA Jonesboro. And for those of you who are watching at southarkansasnow.com, our Facebook page or our YouTube channel, any of those, we appreciate you so much being with us. Snap back. He's going to throw far sideline, way overthrown. And that may have been a good thing because I think that could have been picked off if that ball would have been down low. The safety comes sneaking in there at the last moment.
And with it being a 4th and 7, it looks like Jonesboro is going to send their punt team out. And with that being an incompletion, the clock is stopped at 36 seconds. Wildcats still lead 28-14 as they get ready to field this punt.
Bronson Brock stands back at about the Jonesboro 46-yard line. Brock we've seen him. He has the ability to take one back. And
he has the speed.
I'm sure that's exactly what the Jonesboro coaching staff is saying to the team right now is, hey, he can take it back, so watch him. Now we got 2 men back. Jacobs is going to be back there with him. Snap is high. It's over his head. Punter is going to try to – he goes to get a kick out of the end zone. And I think it's going to be a safety. Safety is the call. He went to kick it out of the end zone. He missed it. One of the Wildcats tried to jump on it, but it squirted out from under him and went out of the back of the end zone. That's going to make your score 30-14. We're going to keep it right here because we're so close to the half.
29 seconds left to go here in the first half. And just like you said, it's 30-14. And now not only is it the safety for the Hurricanes, but they're going to have to give the ball over to the Wildcats.
They still have to kick it to the Wildcats here, even though there's only 29 seconds remaining here in the first half. I think the man who went to jump on that ball was Jalen Dunn, and it just squirted out from under him, and he got up, and he was the one who was most upset. He was hitting his own self in the helmet like, that was mine. I had that. You know, defenses want touchdowns.
That's right. That's special teams wants touchdowns.
Yes, and special teams wants touchdowns. You know, it's that we talked about it last week, the big man pick 6. You know, the coach said he was talking about it all week. I talked about it all weekend. He went to class talking about it on Monday.
That was number 30 last week, Jervalen Jr. for the Wildcats with a big man pick 6, and I'm sure he was talking about it earlier today.
You know, I was told that he went up to Coach Hill and said, if you need another receiver. That's what I was told.
You know, I'm sure he did. I'm sure he did.
All right, here is the free kick now from the Jonesboro Golden Hurricanes. They place the ball at their own 20-yard line and will kick it off to El Dorado. Here's the approach. It's a big end over him. Wow, what a kick. It's going to take an Jonesboro bounce all the way to the 9-yard line where it's going to be picked up there. Bertavion Brown, I believe, picks it up. Oh, man, he was face masked. No flag. He gets it out to the 25. I mean, it spun his entire body around.
He was able to shake the tackle, and maybe that's why they didn't wind up calling the penalty is they just didn't see it with him spinning around the way that he did. But that's going to leave 20 seconds on the clock. The Wildcats are going to take possession of the ball here at the 25-yard line.
2 officials standing there, though.
You're right. And maybe they saw that it wasn't a face mask. Maybe you just grabbed him by the jersey. Can't tell from up here the best, but from our angle, it sure did look like a face mask.
That's right. From our angle. Want to clarify that. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats from their own 25-yard line.
Do you think that they go for it here, or do you think that they just kneel it out and go to the half?
It looks like they're in the victory formation. They have 4 men in the backfield, and Jacobs is going to go under center. It looks like he's going to just take a knee here.
Leave nothing up to chance.
That's right. There's a snap, and he will take the knee, and there will be no need to have another snap. So at the half, your El Dorado Wildcats are on top by a score of 30-14. And for those of you who are listening via radio, this is KNEA Jonesboro, and we will be back after a 2-minute break with more of our halftime show coming up right after this.
Rarely happens by accident. It starts with preparation, takes some skill, and often even a little luck. Country Village Sporting Goods is your headquarters for all three. Right now, check out a brand new shipment of feeders, so new that they're still pulling them out of the boxes. A huge selection of lacrosse boots and plenty of warm weather camo for that early season hunt. And of course, bow hunters can't go wrong with the sales and service at Country Village Sporting Goods, 965 Smackover Highway in El Dorado.
Spice up your tailgate with locally raised farm fresh products at Davis Farms Country Market, like the new Code 3 and Davis Double D Farm Salsa, fresh from the field in locally grown purple hull peas, super sweet vine ripened cantaloupes, Arkansas made meals that are easy on your wallet and your time. And nothing says fall has arrived like mums and pumpkins. There are plenty to choose from at Davis Farms Country Market, 4523 Junction City Highway, or call 870-639-1323.
Homes are typically heated or cooled 24/7, 365, using nearly half of all home energy. That new stainless steel refrigerator may look cool, but upgrading to the quietest and most efficient HVAC system can have much greater rewards. Choose a system with a Wi-Fi enabled thermostat, so the most important appliance in the house is also the smartest, allowing you to set the perfect comfort level from anywhere. Presented by Lennox. Learn what perfect feels like at Lennox.com.
Need equipment for your next job? Don't settle for the traditional rental experience.
The rental experience with Equipment Share is a great experience. We rent everything from dozers to skid loaders, mini excavators, even smaller hand tools. They've always got what we need. They're timely. The billing is quick and accurate. The guys are able to set it up. They do it through their phone. I love Equipment Share. Renting with Equipment Share is not like any other company out there. It's 1,000 times better.
And welcome back to Memorial Stadium in beautiful El Dorado, Arkansas. I'm Sandy Sanford along with Jax Sanford here at the ProMed Press Box. And thanks to our friends at ProMed Ambulance. 25 years, Ken Kelly said that he has owned the company and still providing world-class care and hometown values. And Jax, we had him on the podcast this week. And Ken is not only just a great friend of mine and has been for 20-something years now, but he's just a good person. He thinks about the community. And that's one of the things I love about Ken Kelly. He understands that as the tide rises, all the ships come up. And so it's never just about him. And that's what I like about him and ProMed.
You know, I always say that you can't be a good person and good at golf. And and I feel like Ken and I really exemplify that in speaking humbly here about myself, obviously, in being a good person. But Ken is just so amazing. And, I mean, he's not bad at golf.
No, he's not bad.
But he's definitely not going on any tours.
No, he's not. You know, he told me yesterday, or he told me earlier this week during the podcast, he said that he's been playing a lot of pickleball.
That's a fun game. And speaking of fun games, how about tonight's game?
30-14 is our score here at the half. And the El Dorado Wildcats definitely, Jax, we said from the very beginning this was going to be a very physical and close game, and don't take that 16-point lead to mean anything other than it's still a close game. Jonesboro's proven one snap of the ball, they can put the ball in the end zone.
That's right. And a 16-point game is only a two-possession game.
That's right.
And so don't want anybody to discount the Jonesboro team at all or feel discouraged, but this game has been just extremely physical, a lot of hard hits coming from both defenses, and the running backs on both sides have just run with such tenacity and with such strength that it's been a challenge for both sides to bring down the running back unless there's at least 2 or 3 defenders around.
Also, for our friends who are listening via terrestrial radio back in Northeast Arkansas, one of the things that they talk about is where they are, where they're broadcasting from. So this is your Northeast Arkansas Baptist position here at First Financial Field at Memorial Stadium in El Dorado, Arkansas. Northeast Arkansas Baptist Healthcare for the next century. And we are, excuse me, sorry about that. I'll get some stats here together in just a matter of moments, Jax. But I think the biggest stat for me is that El Dorado was +1 in the takeover category, and that was Jonesboro had driven the length of the field, and they were in the red zone, and it looked like by all purposes they were about to score, and El Dorado picked it off there.
Well, and we said at the beginning of the game that you said it was going to be coach speak and protecting the football. And tonight, so far, Jonesboro hasn't really done that good of a job of it. And it has resulted in one turnover for them and a safety.
Yes.
And so
and they've had 2 errant snaps. They had one on an attempted field goal.
An attempted field goal.
That took points off the board, basically. And then they were going to punt the ball on 4th and 7 from deep in their own end of the field, and the ball went over the punter's head. And he did the smart thing. The punter from Jonesboro, let me say, he did the smart thing. He ran into the end zone and attempted to kick it out of the back of the end zone. However, he missed the kick. It's bad when you say your punter missed the kick, but he did. He missed the kick, and El Dorado Wildcat jumps on top of the ball. But as he comes down, his chest and those shoulder pads, the front panel of those shoulder pads, just squeeze that ball out.
Just a pinch, and it came out. It came out at lightning speed.
It shot out of the back of the end zone
and was still almost recovered by the Wildcat special teams unit on defense there for a touchdown. However, it did go out of the back of the end zone for a safety. And so I know that going into the locker room, I know the Jonesboro coach is going to be talking about, guys, we've got to protect the football. We've got to have good snaps, and we've got to make sure that we're not beating ourselves. And I know that Coach Hill going into this locker room for the Wildcats is telling his guys, hey, this game is not even close to over. There's still another half, and you guys still have a lot more work to do before you can walk home happy tonight.
Exactly. I guarantee you that's exactly what he's telling him. For our friends who are listening via KNEA in Jonesboro, via the radio station there, again, we are very honored tonight to be able to bring you this game. Your normal play-by-play guy, Bud Sorrow, is recovering from heart surgery, doing very well. And he wanted to be sure and pass that along. One of the other things that they wanted me to pass along is at halftime, for the radio side, the halftime is brought to you by Kavanaugh Auto Group halftime show presented by Kavanaugh Auto Group. Check out Kavanaugh's entire selection of new and pre-owned inventory at KavanaughCars.com. And, of course, we are going to take a quick break. 1 minute for our radio partners. We're going to take a 1 minute break, and we will be back with more of El Dorado Wildcats and Jonesboro Golden Hurricanes from Memorial Stadium in El Dorado, Arkansas on KNEA Jonesboro and at SouthArkansasNow.com.
For nearly 50 years, South Arkansas floors have been covered by El Dorado Custom Carpets. And not just carpets, but true hardwood, laminate, stone, porcelain, ceramic, marble, and more. And guess what? It doesn't end with just floors. El Dorado Custom Carpets carries a tremendous selection of backsplash, wall tile, and area rugs. The truth of the matter is, one commercial can't come close to telling you everything you can find at El Dorado Custom Carpets, 1601 East Main Street in El Dorado. Call 870-862-4945.
With a name you trust, you can count on us. Glen Mechanical, plumbing, heating, and air.
For over 6 decades, Glen Mechanical has been specializing in HVAC, plumbing, and all mechanical jobs. 3 generations family-owned and operated since 1956. Glen Mechanical's business is based on relationships. They support and give back to the communities they work in. Contact them for all of your HVAC, plumbing, and mechanical needs. GlenMechanical.com.
Welcome to your El Dorado Wildcat halftime show, brought to you by El Dorado Custom Carpets. Whether it's one room or an entire home, El Dorado Custom Carpets has been covering the floors of South Arkansas for nearly 50 years. And now, with a review of the first half, analysis, and what we have to look forward to in the second half, let's go back to the stadium for your El Dorado Custom Carpets halftime show.
And welcome back to First Financial Field in beautiful El Dorado, Arkansas, here at Memorial Stadium. I'm Sandy Sanford. He's Jax Sanford, and what a great night for football, Jax. We said it earlier. It's not going to be too warm, that's for sure. And but I've certainly enjoyed the game tonight. And, you know, again, it's been 13 years since I've called an El Dorado Wildcat game, either on television or radio. And so it feels good to get back in the stands, but in the press box. But more importantly than that, it feels good to do it with my son.
Oh, come on now. Come on now, Dad.
It does. But you know what? I mean, someone asked him, said, have you ever done football before this year? And he said, I spent every Friday night in the floor of a press box for years. And that's true. All of y'all did.
And that is true. A lot of my early childhood memories, all the way up into my teenage years, was spent listening to you call games. And so to get to do it this year for the Wildcats has just been, a passing of the torch. But to get to do it tonight with my dad, I mean, I was telling people all week, my favorite memory of all time is going to Game 2 of the World Series in 2022 with you, where we got to watch Alex Bregman hit a home run in like the bottom of the second or third inning. It went electric, and you and I were just standing there jumping. I mean, it's really hard I don't even know if the birth of my first child will compare to it. I guess we'll just have to wait and see in the moment. But I've been looking forward and talking about this all week. It's just an honor to get to call a game with somebody who's been doing it for. I mean, now you haven't done it in about 13 years, but before that you had done it for around 30.
So continuously, no, but I've definitely been calling games for more than 30 years. And, it's funny because his older sister, she used to go to games with me, and we were doing a high school game one time, and we were in the press box with the coaches from the opposing team, and I'm doing this game on radio, and they wanting a flag for pass interference. And or the flag comes out for pass interference, and one of the coaches for the team said, "But that ball was uncatchable. They can't throw a flag. It's an uncatchable ball." She looked over there at that coach, and she did this right here. She said, "No such thing as an uncatchable pass in high school."
9 years old.
No. 5 years old.
Oh, 5 years old.
She was
my
5
goodness.
years old, yeah. I remember
I was barely born.
Those coaches just looked at me, and I was like, she's 5. But
she's also in her third year of law school now.
She is in her third year of law school. Very proud of the job that she's doing. And, you said that going to the World Series may be better than the birth of your first child. It won't be for me. I'm ready for grandkids, okay? So, all right, enough about us personally. This game tonight is a big game because, again, they're fighting for third place or the third seed in the playoffs. And that's going to be very important because you don't want to have to travel to the number 1 seed right out of the gate. And so the Wildcats certainly trying to keep their playoff seeding as good as possible. Take care of business tonight, take care of business next week. They could possibly even move up given some certain scenarios in the playoff hunt. And so, the coaching staff from Jonesboro is saying the same exact thing in their locker room right below us and telling them, hey, look, if they could put up 30 in the first half, we can put up 30 in the second half. And they can.
That's right. This Jonesboro offense has proven that they can be explosive, that they can get the big chunk yardage plays, and that they can get in the end zone. I mean, they've done it twice already so far, and what's to say that they can't do it 3-4 more times in the second half. But this Wildcat offense has also gotten in the end zone 4 times so far this game, and and special teams was able to get a safety off of a bad snap on a punt deep in Jonesboro's own territory. So there's many ways that this game can go tonight, and again, just being a homer, I'm enjoying the way it's going so far, but I'm not getting too comfortable because I know how good this Jonesboro team is and the things that they are capable of doing.
I totally agree with you, Jax. A little bit of stat numbers for you here. Again, I said the biggest stat was the +1 in the takeover and turnover category. El Dorado with the 1 interception. El Dorado Wildcats have run the ball 21 times tonight, which is probably a half low for them. They normally run the ball about 30 times in a half. 21 times tonight for 130 yards. Jacobs is 12 for 15 passing with 183 yards.
Which already beats most games that he's had so far this season. And so I believe that Coach Hill and the rest of the offense for the Wildcats saw some things that they liked from the looks that they've seen watching film over Jonesboro and have been able to make a couple of things happen, a couple of big plays. And if Jackson Pagan is able to ring in those first 2 passes that went to him,
maybe a whole different story.
This very well could be a 35-7 ball game, but it is what it is now, and Jackson Pagan has come back since and made a few catches for the Wildcats and grabbed significant chunks of yardage on every catch on almost every catch that he's caught so far.
Jonesboro tonight, they have run the ball, 18 times for 119 yards. They are 6 for 7 in passing for 59 yards.
Well, and one of the big reasons that those numbers are a little bit lower than maybe you're expecting is because they did have the one big, huge run that they were able to break off a touchdown on. And then also the Wildcats have done just a spectacular job tonight of holding on to the football and keeping their possessions long. Other than the one touchdown that they scored on a really quick drive, that they've maintained possession for most of the first half there.
And I think we can't state enough, field position has been very important. El Dorado has benefited from some really good field position tonight, and have been a little stingier on their side of special teams where Jonesboro's been able to start off. I think we need to take a break. For our radio partners, we'll take a 2-minute break, and we will come back and we will wrap up the El Dorado Custom Carpets halftime show, and for our radio partners, the Kavanaugh Auto halftime show. We will be back with more of our halftime program and a second half kickoff coming your way here shortly. You are listening to El Dorado Wildcat Football taking on Jonesboro Hurricanes at KNEA Jonesboro, and you're watching at SouthArkansasNow.com.
Tells a story, and at Especially For You, they help you make it unforgettable. Birthdays, wedding showers, baby showers, graduations, or just because. Especially For You creates one-of-a-kind gifts made to touch the heart. Anyone can buy a gift card, but the best gifts aren't bought. They're made at Especially For You. Stop by and visit, Especially For You, and find the perfect gift for life's special moments.
Derrick Henry.
Hey, Jake from State Farm. I saved so much bundling, it inspired my workout. Auto! Home!
Okay, and this is Auto again, right?
Auto!
Hey, this is my living room.
Home!
Bundling, just another way to save with the personal price plan.
The dog isn't allowed on the couch, Derek.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
When it comes to your family's financial future, peace of mind matters. At Harrison Financial Management, they are right here to help you plan, grow, and protect what matters most. Whether you're planning for retirement, investing wisely, or securing your family's future, they will guide you every step of the way. Harrison Financial Management, your future, their commitment.
At the Carl Malone family of dealerships, Ford El Dorado, Chevy El Dorado, Toyota El Dorado, and Carl Malone Toyota of Ruston, the mailman always delivers. With over 200 brand new vehicles and over 150 quality pre-owned options, you're sure to find the perfect ride. Looking to sell? We'll buy your vehicle, paid on the spot. 4 dealerships, one name you can trust, Carl Malone. Because when it comes to great deals, the mailman delivers.
And welcome back to First Financial Field here at Memorial Stadium in El Dorado, Arkansas. Halftime score, as you see on your screen there, 30-14, El Dorado Wildcats on top. And Jax, it has been everything we hyped it to be as far as the physicality of this game. We have seen both sides of the ball where the other team was just laying people out.
That's right. And we knew coming into this game that this was going to be very, very physical from both sides. El Dorado defense has not disappointed in the slightest, laying down big, heavy hits on Jonesboro's skill players. And at the same time, there have been many, many big hits and group tackles from the Jonesboro defense that has really kept them in this game. It's still a 2-possession game, and there are a lot of things that can happen in 2-possession games.
Yes.
And so Jonesboro is fighting to stay in it. They're going to get the ball to start the second half, and that's going to be a really big indicator on how well they're able to stay in this game, is if they can score on that initial drive. So coming back after the half.
And I think one of the things you need to look for here in the second half, Jax, is I bet that those first 5, maybe even 10 plays are scripted, and so they'll be moving quick. They're going to go back to the hurry up. It is one of the times when they really move the ball well against the El Dorado defense, is when the Golden Hurricanes come out and don't give the defense time to much read what they're going to do. And moving the ball quickly like that has been advantageous for the Jonesboro Golden Hurricanes.
And another thing has been that El Dorado really has taken the deep option away from Jonesboro a handful of times here. The ball, they've gone 6 for 7 on the passing game for Jonesboro, but
only for 59 yards.
But only for 59 yards. But a lot of that is because El Dorado's taken the deep ball away, and the quarterback for the Golden Hurricanes has had to make a check down several times now tonight.
Yeah, and of course, when we talk about the El Dorado passing attack, we've seen 3 balls hit receivers in the hands for the Wildcats that either it was just fired in too hard or whatever it was, but those are 3 that should have been 3 more catches that the Wildcats would have had on offense.
And I love how you've seen that none of the Wildcats have let any of their mistakes get to them. They know that there's still a job to come out here and do. They know that they still have responsibilities, whether it be on offense or defense. And Marcevius Ishmael was able to get a huge interception off of there's got to be at least 2 incompletions.
Yes, you're right. So I'll go back and look at the numbers. Hey, we need to take our last break of halftime. It's going to be a 2-minute break for our radio partners, and we'll be back with more of El Dorado Wildcats and Jonesboro Hurricanes after this.
Whether it's protecting families from the predators in nature, to helping food taste better and last longer naturally, or just making sure the local ball field is at its best, Lanxess is involved in our everyday lives. With more than 450 employees locally and more than $32 million in payroll each year, Lanxess is doing their part to be a good neighbor and leader in South Arkansas. With that in mind, remember to call before you dig. Know what's below. In Arkansas, it's the law, and it's a free service. Call 811 before you dig. This brought to you by Lanxess.
Located on 1,400 acres amidst Union County's scenic timberlands, LSB Industries' largest manufacturing facility and its employees have been a part of the El Dorado community for more than 40 years. Working together as one team, we are proud to call El Dorado home.
If you born and raised in Arkansas, make some noise right now. You got
place they've built right here in your town.
PCI has been shaping the future of manufacturing for over 40 years, and they're doing it right here in El Dorado, Arkansas. PCI is one of America's leading producers of polyethylene containers, known for quality, innovation, and teamwork. Join a fast-paced, rewarding career where your work keeps the world moving. And because PCI is a veteran-owned company, they value things like dedication, diversity, and drive. Are you ready to take your career to the next level? Apply today at polypails.com/careers.
And welcome back to El Dorado, Arkansas, here at First Financial Field in Memorial Stadium.
Get ready for another equipment share kickoff.
High kick. It's going to be fielded at about the 30-yard line. He's looking for some room to run. I don't know what happened there, Jax. He let up. It's like he stopped on the – I don't know if he had an equipment failure. I know his helmet came off, but – I don't know if he had an equipment failure, but it looked like he just let up, didn't it?
Maybe he was going to try and stop him and do a cutback there, but ultimately winds up in a tackle around the 21-yard line. So Hurricanes are going to take possession of the ball there on their own 21-yard line. 11:55 left here to go in the third quarter. Your score is 30-14. Wildcats lead.
So 1st and 10 for Jonesboro, and they will have the ball at their own 20-yard line. Handoff, going to try to go over the right side, nowhere to go. He's going to be stacked up at the line of scrimmage.
And it looks like they are actually going to mark him for a loss of about a yard. Yeah, a loss of about a yard, set up a 2nd and 11 for the Hurricanes there on their own 20-yard line.
2nd down and 11. Handoff goes to the right side. He gets a little running room this time, gets up to the 25-yard line. 6-yard gain will make it 3rd down and 5.
And with a 3rd and 5, they're moving a little bit more with the tempo, just like you had predicted, Sandy. And they're going to slow it down. They're waiting for a call to come in from the sideline.
Looking to the sideline for the call. 11-12 remaining in third quarter. 30-14, El Dorado on top. Play action, going to pass. It's going to be complete across the 35 for a first down to the 40-yard line, and he'll be a host of Wildcats will meet him there and drag him down after a 15-yard completion.
And so that will put the ball on the Golden Hurricanes' own 40-yard line, and they are, again, actually going tempo here.
Pitch to the near side, looking for some running room, nowhere to go. Going to be stacked up at the line of scrimmage again.
And that's going to be a loss of about a yard there for the Golden Hurricanes. That's going to set up another 2nd and 11 on their own 39-yard line. 10:40 to go here in the third quarter.
Second down and long. 10.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. 30-14 your score. El Dorado Wildcats on top. Thank you to all of our friends who are listening via KNEA in Jonesboro. Snap is back. He's going to hand it off this time, looking for running room to the right side. He gets a little bit of running room. He's dragging the pile with him, Jax. That's an 11-yard gain. He's close to a first down.
He's going to be really close, but I think they're going to mark him just shy and set up a third and really short for the Golden Hurricanes. 10 minutes left to go here in the third quarter.
Mark him just shy of the midfield stripe. 3rd and 1 for the Golden Hurricanes. Snap is back. He's going to throw. Pass is complete. Boy, that's a hold. He's going to be hit at the down marker, but I think he's going to have enough forward momentum to get him the first down. Man, that happened right in front of an official.
Right in front of official, just a really blatant hold that wasn't called, but they are going to move the chains. It is going to be a first down for the Golden Hurricanes, and if you're the Hurricanes, it doesn't matter how it comes. It just matters that it does.
So a 1-yard pass completion makes the first down. Ball just inside the midfield stripe now. 2 receivers to the bottom of your screen for Jonesboro. He's going to pass again. It's complete. Same play. Different result this time. He's going to pick up about 3 yards. It'll bring up 2nd down and 7.
And 2 Wildcats in to make the tackle right there. And Jonesboro has done a lot of the quick bubble screens off to the left side so far tonight. It's been one of their favorites.
3 wide receivers now, 1 tight end of the game. Play action, he's going to throw. Looking deep downfield, has a man. It's going to be overthrown by a good 7 or 8 yards. For those of you who are listening on radio, as you look at your radio dial, the Golden Hurricanes are moving from your right to your left as you look at the dial. 3rd down and 7, long 7, short 8. 9:09 remaining here in the third quarter. 30-14, El Dorado on top. Jonesboro is going to sub in a man. 2 receivers to the bottom. 1 man alone at the top. Tight end flanks to the right. 1 man in the backfield from the shotgun. Gets the snap, looking to throw. Steps up in the pocket, still looking, going deep downfield. It's going to be way overthrown and maybe picked off. That would have been picked off had the receiver not turned into a defender and pulled those arms down at the last moment.
That's right. So that's going to set up a 4th down for the Golden Hurricanes. Looks like they are going to keep their offensive package out on the field. They've got their star running back in the backfield with them.
I have to say, I'm a little puzzled there, Jax. They had run the ball really well up to that point, averaging 5 yards a gain, or 5 yards a carry, and then they abandoned it for 3 straight plays. 4th down and 8. Quarterback's looking to throw, steps up in the pocket, comes across the middle of the field. It's going to be complete and enough for a first down. They'll drive him out of bounds at the El Dorado 37-yard line. A 12-yard pickup makes it 1st and 10 for the Golden Hurricanes.
It's going to be 9 minutes left to go here in the third quarter. The Golden Hurricanes are going to continue to run a tempo. It's going to be a handoff.
Tried to go back to the right. Nothing was there. Cut back to the middle of the field. Picked up about a yard. They're going to put him down. I'm just going to call it 2 yards. Put him down at the 35-yard line of El Dorado.
8:47 left to go here in the third quarter, and making a substitution in the backfield.
3 wide receivers, 2 to the top, 1 to the bottom. 1 tight end is going to flank to the left side. Running back moves to the right of the quarterback who's in the shotgun. On 2nd down, he's going to throw. Oh, it's picked up. Oh, no! That ball was thrown as cleanly as it could be to an El Dorado player. And, man, again, that's one of those where you know he wants it back. That's Josiah Moore.
Mm-hmm.
And, man, it hit him right in the hands. And I think, again, he saw that green field in front of him. He was thinking pick 6. 3rd and 8 now for the Golden Hurricanes. They're going to get the call in from the sideline. Trips to the top of your screen, 1 man at the bottom. Running back flank to the right side of the quarterback, who's from the shotgun looking to throw. He's going up top. And very good defense. And Jonesboro wanted a pass interference, but no, that was about as clean as it could be. And incomplete pass going to bring up 4th down now for the Golden Hurricanes.
And it was a clean play on the ball by the Wildcats defensive back, Marsavius Ishmael, who has continued just to play lockdown defense so far this season and has been really a ball hawk.
But let me say this, what a great touch the quarterback put on that, because there was only one person who could catch that if it was going to be called at all, and that was his receiver.
That's right.
We have a timeout on the field. We're going to take it with them. 8 minutes, 20 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. 30-14, El Dorado Wildcats are on top. We'll be back with more football action after this.
Rated the #1 course in Arkansas by Golf Week, Mystic Creek is truly a hidden gem, complemented by a modern clubhouse, complete with panoramic views. It also features a fully stocked pro shop and Mystic Grill, serving contemporary American cuisine and Southern classics. Mystic Creek promises an unforgettable experience.
Serving South Arkansas for 25 years, and all the while expanding and growing throughout the state. ProMed Ambulance is proving their motto of world-class care and hometown values. For example, their new mobile integrated healthcare communication center. This state-of-the-art facility allows communication specialists to work directly with local 911 call centers to ensure the closest medical team is always dispatched to any emergency. World-class care and hometown values. For more information and career opportunities, go to ProMedAmbulance.com.
And welcome back here to First Financial Field at Memorial Stadium in El Dorado, Arkansas. I'm Sandy Sanford along with Jax Sanford. While we were going to the commercial break, Jax, I didn't realize it was a 30-second timeout, but while we were going to the commercial break, the Jonesboro Golden Hurricanes came out, went for a pass play on 4th down, and it came in incomplete, and the Wildcats will take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
And it was an almost complete. It really would have been a touchdown for the Hurricanes had he been able to drag it in, just slightly overthrown, and now the Wildcats will take back over with possession of the football back in their own territory.
Their first possession of the half, 30-14, El Dorado on top from the shotgun with 3 wide receivers. Play action. Now Jacobs is going to run. He has all kinds of daylight across the 40, across the 45, across midfield, and goes out of bounds at the 45-yard line of Jonesboro.
Able to cross the half field mark there. Cannon did a great job of hiding the ball there and was able just to fool the entire Golden Hurricanes defense into thinking that it had been handed off to J.J. Samuel.
That whole far side of the defense, they all crashed down on J.J., and then when Cannon saw that, he just took off. From the shotgun with 4 or 3 wide receivers, 2 to the bottom of your screen, 1 at the top. Handoff. No, he's going to keep it. He's going to keep it himself. Gets across the 40, takes a big hit at the 37-yard line.
And he hops right back up, having just the strength and the durability that we have seen from him all season long from Cannon Jacobs. Not scared to run the ball down the field. He knows he can do it well. And we're going to get a substitution. Jackson Pagan's going to come out of the game, and number 12,
Cortland Rozier,
is going to come in for him.
Rozier's in the slot at the bottom of your screen. 4 wide receivers this time. Put Rozier in motion. Jacobs is going to keep it himself. He'll get a yard, maybe 2, depending on where they spot the ball. Oh, there's an extracurricular flag.
And it looks like that is going to be an unsportsmanlike that comes in on the Golden Hurricanes. Free safety.
Caden King was the offensive lineman for El Dorado. He was blocking downfield, which is what he's supposed to do, all the way to the whistle. And the safety took exception to it and gave him a toss, gave him a little hip toss. A little Mid-South wrestling move. Old junkyard dog move, hacksaw Jim Duggan move.
You're talking about people that I've never seen on TV.
And I hate it for you. That's going to be a 15-yard penalty, and that will give the El Dorado Wildcats another Glenn Mechanical first down.
And the Wildcats have done just a great job so far tonight of just marching down the field with their possessions. And now they are deep into Golden Hurricane territory as they're going to spot the ball at the 22-yard line for the Wildcats here. 7:20 left to go here in the third quarter. Score 30-14.
1st and 10 for the Wildcats. Jacobs in the shotgun. 3 receivers at the top of your screen. 1 man at the bottom. Now empty the backfield. Samuel goes in motion. Jacobs going to throw, checks down, finds his man to the outside, gets the pass out to him at the 20, and they'll run him out of bounds at the 19-yard line. So a pickup of about 2 yards, 3, we'll call it 3 yards, and we'll call it 2 from that spot. We'll call it 2, and it's going to be 2nd down and 8.
And Cannon had plenty of time in the backfield to get the throw off. He ultimately had to check down, but is still positive yardage.
3 wide receivers. Hand it off, goes straight up the middle, across the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Pickup of about 5 yards. It's going to bring up 3rd down and about long 2, short 3 for the Wildcats.
And with the QB keeper, they've really stuck to it tonight. They know that Cannon can run the ball, and he's taken a lot of opportunities to get what he can.
Jacobs going to keep it again. From the shotgun, he's going to run and gets down to about the 10-yard line. Yep, they're going to mark him right at the 10, and that's going to be enough for another Glenn Mechanical 1st down.
And are they going to set that up as a 1st and goal, or are they going to make it a
They'll stretch the chains to see. They will stretch the nope, they're going to drop the chain, so it is going to be 1st and goal.
6:24 left to go here in the third quarter. The Wildcats are up 30-14 as they get ready, or as they continue to march down the field with a 1st and goal.
Paxton Strong in as the tight end over at the top of your screen. 3 receivers, 1 at the top, 2 at the bottom. There's a pitch to the far side, and he's going to get inside the 10 to about the 8-yard line. It'll bring up 2nd down and goal from the 8.
6 minutes left to go here in the third quarter. J.J. Samuel was the runner there and was able to get around to the outside, pick up 2 yards before he was met by 2 Golden Hurricanes defensive players who were able just to stop his momentum but not bring him down.
5:44 and counting remaining here in the third quarter. 30-14 is your score. El Dorado Wildcats are on top. Hand it off. Going to go over the right side with some running room across the 5-yard line. Gets inside to the 2. And it'll bring up 3rd and goal from the 2-yard line, Jax.
And Wildcats are going to hurry up here in a wing tee.
Hand off, and it's not going to go into the end zone. Going to give him about a yard. I think they're going to put it at the 1-yard line. It'll be 4th and goal from the 1.
Which reminds me, you can tune in on Tuesdays live at 6 p.m. to catch 5th and Goal with coaches from around Union County getting to talk about their programs. At the half, Junction City was up 50-0, and they are won 64-6. Final score tonight.
There's Jacobs going to hand it off. J.J. Samuel. I don't think he's going to get in. He's going to be stopped short, Jack. No, we got some guys saying he's in and some saying he's short. I have not seen an official. Yeah, I do see an official indication. They're going to say he is short on about the 3-inch line. So it's going to be a turnover on downs for the Wildcats. And Jonesboro will take over, moving from right to left from their own 1-yard line.
That was a huge stop for the Golden Hurricanes. Had the Wildcats marched the ball in there, that would make it a 3-score game.
Yes.
And it's really hard to come back in a 3-score game.
Very much so.
However, if you're playing the Texans in a playoff game.
Or the Oilers.
The Oilers.
Yeah.
That's what they were back in the day.
Yeah. Before they became the Tennessee Titans.
Was I alive?
No.
I didn't think so.
No, I had not even been married yet at that point. 1992. 4.5 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. 1st and 10 for Jonesboro. They're going to hand it off at the 1. He may have been hit in the backfield, Jax.
Oh, my goodness. That might be a safety.
They're going to mark him at the 1-inch line, so no gain. He is very fortunate because that pile went backwards.
Very, very fortunate for the Golden Hurricanes here. They know that they have to get some breathing room, get their backs off the wall here, and they're trying to power it through this Wildcat defense.
They're going to try to just quarterback keeper. And again, he's going to be stood up at the line of scrimmage. He may have gotten to the 1, but that's about it, Jax.
So that's going to set up a 3rd and long
10. It's basically 3rd and 10.
Yeah, it's still basically 3rd and 10.
9 7/8.
Yeah, I'm 5'9" and 3/4. But yeah, no, that's going to set up 3rd and 10. Backs against the wall. They need a big play here to get a first down.
Passing situation here, you would think. They haven't been able to run the ball out of their end zone. 4 wide receivers for the Golden Hurricanes, 1 to the top, 3 at the bottom. Move the running back now to the near side, flanking his quarterback. Going to hand it off, and he's going to come out of he's going to get out of the shadow of his goalpost, but only up to about the 5-yard line. They're going to mark him at the 4, Jackson. So it's going to be 4th down and about 7 for the Golden Hurricanes. The last time they were in this position, Jax, a bad snap sent the ball out of the back of the end zone.
And you know that is heavy on the deep snapper's mind right now. All he is thinking is not a bad snap, not a bad snap.
Now, let me take a little bit of pressure off of him. The punter looks to be about the shortest guy on the team. But it's a good snap this time. He's going to, he barely gets it away. My
blocked.
Gosh. That ball's going to take a bounce, and Jacobs is going to pick it up at the 42. He'll lose a couple of yards back to the 43. I'm going to mark him at the 43. So El Dorado will take over 1st and 10 from the 43 of Jonesboro. 3:21 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. 30-14 is your score. El Dorado on top.
Definitely an interesting decision there for Jacobs to field that ball and try to run it. You had several Hurricanes already swarming around the ball on the punt there, and he still fielded it, tried to make a play there, wound up losing a yard or 2, and so they're still in excellent field position. They still have a chance to march through this short territory and get a score here for the Wildcats.
1st and 10 for the El Dorado Wildcats. Ball on the Jonesboro side of the stripe at the 43-yard line. On 1st down now. Going to hand it off to the left side. Samuel, he's got running room. 45-40, 35-30, pushed out of bounds at the 23-yard line. That's a 20-yard gain, Jax.
And that's enough for a Glenn Mechanical 1st down for the Wildcats. And that's the J.J. Samuel that we're used to seeing. That's the J.J. that is able to power through defenses, not only with his strength, but also the speed that he is able to run with.
1st down. Looking to hand it off again. That's Samuel. Shoestring tackle. He's gonna get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe 1 yard. Yeah, they're going to give him about a yard. No, they're not. They're going to say got back to the line of scrimmage and maybe a couple of feet. So it's going to bring up 2nd down about 9.5.
2:34 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. Wildcats still up 30-14. Ball in Hurricane territory.
At their 22-yard line, now empty the backfield. Jacobs is going to throw. Big hit. Caught as soon as he catches the ball.
That's a lot of celebration with no penalties coming in. And
that officiating crew, we have already agreed that officiating crew who called that game, who called that excessive celebration on El Dorado, was not a good crew. And this crew is letting them play. I'll give them that.
This is true. And you're right.
So a loss of about 3 yards.
And 1:48 left to go here in the 3rd quarter.
On 3rd down now. Going to throw across the middle. It's complete. Runs over an official, and he's going to be down at the 8-yard line. And that official, I hope he's okay. That was a hard hit he took.
That was a hard hit. He hopped right back up.
He did.
And is walking around just fine.
He hopped up as quickly as someone our age can hop up. My age can hop up. He looks to be about my age, so I get it. But, he got run up the backside of, and he appears to be okay.
And he plays a dangerous position on the field where he's at.
Umpire. That's right. Umpire stands in the middle of the defense. He did not try to impede the play. He was just trying to get out of the way. And he got churned, first of all, by a Golden Hurricane. And then once he got churned, he couldn't see the play coming, and they ran right up his backside. 1:37 remaining here in the 3rd quarter as the El Dorado Wildcats now have the ball at about the 8-yard line.
It was a first down, a Glenn Mechanical first down for the Wildcats there on that last play.
First and goal from the shotgun. Jacobs calls for the ball. He's going to hand it off. Bertavion Brown is going to power forward down to about the 4-yard line, a 4-yard pickup.
Going to bring the ball inside the 5-yard line. 1 minute and 19 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. The clock's going to continue to roll, and it looks like El Dorado's hopping in a tempo offense here.
Second down and goal, handed off to Bertavion Brown again, and he's going to just try to push the pile forward as well, and going to have him show about a half a yard loss on that play. Ball still inside the 5. It's going to be third down and goal. Got a little extracurricular pushing going on down there, and officials are blowing the whistles.
No flags come out there, though.
We got a Wildcat down on the field, and we're going to take a break. 30-second break. We will be back with more of your coverage between the El Dorado Wildcats and Jonesboro Golden Hurricanes right after this.
Non-stop phone calls, registered mail, repossessions, or threats of lawsuits from creditors, and it seems like no one is willing to let you hit pause and just catch your breath. You need the help of Robert Rushing and the Rushing Law Firm. Bankruptcy is not the end. It can be a chance for a fresh start. The Rushing Law Firm goes to work for you, letting you hit that pause button and start over. Call the Rushing Law Firm today at 870-875-2940 or stop by the office at 725 Northwest Avenue in El Dorado. The Rushing Law Firm.
And welcome back to Memorial Stadium here in El Dorado, Arkansas. I'm Sandy Sanford along with Jax Sanford here for the El Dorado Wildcats. And looking down the field, Christavian Meadows was the young man who was down. He got up and is trying to get himself off the field under his own power. He wants everybody to know he's okay. It took him a minute to get him up, though.
Well, he was at the bottom of the pile. There's no telling how smashed he got, how many times he got stepped on.
Right.
And so he jumps up and limps away, letting the field know that he's okay. And now the Wildcats are going to get ready here with a third and goal here from about the 4-yard line.
Just inside the 5. Under 1 minute remaining here in the third quarter. Jacobs calls for the ball. Looks to option. They're going to send it out to the outside. And they're going to be wrapped up at about the 3-yard line. So about a 1-yard gain will bring up fourth down and goal for the Wildcats.
And the clock is going to continue to roll here. 42 seconds left in the third quarter. It's going to be fourth down for the Wildcats, and they're waiting to see if the special teams unit is coming out or if they're going to run an offensive play here. 23 seconds left on the play clock, and it looks like the offense is staying on the field here.
We owe you a 1-minute break coming up here in just a moment, a 1-minute break for our radio partners. Fourth and goal from the 4-yard line. Oh, got him to jump. And Jonesboro's going to jump. That'll give them half the distance and move the ball down to about the 2.
And you know that the Jonesboro defense is kicking themselves right now, knowing that they've basically just allowed where a QB sneak could very easily get the ball into the end zone here and make it a 3-possession game for the Wildcats.
That young man who jumped off sides, his teammates kind of jumped on him there. They didn't. He's going to be a quarterback keeper. Oh, he was hit at the line. I think the ball came out.
I think you are right, and we'll wait to see who it was recovered by, but I think it's going to be a Jonesboro ball.
Jonesboro. It was a fumble. That was a helmet-to-helmet hit. Not that they should throw a flag because it was incidental. But that was a helmet-to-helmet hit, and that ball came out. And Jonesboro jumped on top. Whether they jumped on top of it or not, it was going to be their ball. But again, Jax, that's right at the goal line. That is going to be the end of the third quarter. 1-minute commercial break. We'll be back with more. The fourth and the final quarter coming up right after this.
For longer than most of us can remember, Timberlane Meat Market has been a staple of our community, where quality meats and friendly faces come standard. From everyday dinners to weekend cookouts, make it fresh, make it local, make it Timberlane. Be sure to check out the daily lunch specials and like us on Facebook. Timberlane Meat Market, 1336 West Hillsboro in El Dorado. Proud to be part of South Arkansas and even more proud to be displayed on your table.
Welcome back to Memorial Stadium here in El Dorado, Arkansas at First Financial Field. I'm Sandy Sanford along with Jax Sanford. And it is going to be 1st and 10 as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. 12 minutes to go in this ball game. Jax El Dorado up by 16, 30-14.
And it looks like they're spotting the ball with the tail end on the on the goal line.
On the goal line, yeah.
Couldn't really be any closer.
So 1st and 10 for Jonesboro from the shadow of their own goal post. It's going to be a pass complete out to about the 5. He'll be wrapped up as they'll give him forward progress to about the 9-yard line.
And that's going to give the Jonesboro Golden Hurricanes just a little bit of breathing room as it's going to set up a 2nd and 1 with 11:40 left to go here in the fourth quarter. They're going to try and speed up the play calling here.
That's a bad snap. Quarterback picks it up off the floor and is going to get it out to the outside, first down. He'll get across the 15 and run out of bounds at about the 18, at the 18-yard line.
And it was a good recovery by the quarterback there to pick the ball up off the ground, throw it to an open receiver who was able to get a solid chunk of yardage for a first down for the Golden Hurricanes.
1st and 10 for Jonesboro, moving from left to right as the radio audience looks at their dial. He's going to hand it off. They're going to go up the middle across the 20 to about the 22-yard line. That's going to be a 4-yard pickup. It'll bring up 2nd down and 6.
And Jonesboro wanting to get back to running the ball. However, they are down by two scores here in the fourth quarter.
2nd down and 6 for the Golden Hurricanes. Ball on their own 22-yard line. El Dorado shows blitz. Now they back off that blitz. Going to throw it this time. Comes across the middle of the field, complete for a first down up at the 35-yard line.
And a great tackle made by number 3 for the Wildcats,
Josiah
Moore at the free safety position. Run up the middle here by the Jonesboro Golden Hurricanes for a gain of about 4. It's going to set up a 2nd and 6 for the Hurricanes. 10:35 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Your score 30-14, El Dorado up.
Going to throw it, short pass, going to be complete. He's going to try to cut back to the middle of the field. Not a lot of room there. Going to pick up a couple of yards. It's going to bring up 3rd down and about 3 for the Golden Hurricanes with the ball placed at about the 43-yard line.
And Jonesboro going to continue to stay in a hurry-up offense here.
Bertavion Brown showing blitz, and that made them change their play at the offensive line. Their coach started screaming and jumping from the sidelines. Just under 10 minutes remaining in the ballgame. 30-14, your score. El Dorado on top. Now trips to the far side for the Golden Hurricanes. One man alone at the bottom. Pass across the middle, incomplete. It has to be 4-down territory.
Has to be 4-down territory for the Golden Hurricanes. Down by 16 with 9:38 left to go here in the fourth quarter. You need every possession, every down that you can get in a situation like this.
4th and 3 for the Jonesboro Golden Hurricanes with the ball at their own 43-yard line. Quarterback in the shotgun, trying to get El Dorado to jump, and they did not. Looks to the sideline to get the call. 10 seconds remaining on the play clock. Hand it off. He's going to be hit right at the line of scrimmage. Nowhere to go. Jax, he may have got back to the original line. They're going to mark him at the original line of scrimmage, so no gain, and that's going to be a turnover on downs.
So that's going to give the Wildcats possession of the ball here in Golden Hurricane territory. Wildcats are up 30-14. There's 9 minutes and 5 seconds left to go in the game here. If you're the Wildcats, you're thinking, run the ball till we can't.
That's exactly right. By the way, got a text message from Grant Merrill a minute ago with a picture of Bum Phillips, who was the head coach, the longtime head coach of the Houston Oilers, and was such a great gentleman, and just probably with the dirtiest deal as a coach has ever had happen to him. El Dorado, we talked about running, but they come out with an empty backfield. 5 wide receivers. I would look for Jacobs to run the ball out of the backfield. He's not, though. He's going to throw, and it's complete at the 20. And I'm sorry, at the 30, and he's going to be brought down at about the 27-yard line.
And that's enough for a Glenn Mechanical first down for the Wildcats. They stopped the clock long enough just to move the chains. So it stopped here at the 9-minute, and they restart the clock now.
First and 10, 28-yard line of the Golden Hurricanes. El Dorado with the ball and the lead, 30-14. He's Jax Sanford. I'm Sandy Sanford. We're so glad that you have tuned in to watch our coverage here at South Arkansas Now, southarkansasnow.com, and for our friends listening back home, back in Northeast Arkansas at KNEA in Jonesboro. Going to hand it off to J.J. Samuel. He didn't find anything, so he said, I'll just find somewhere else to go. He's going to get across the 25, across the 20, and Jax, that's going to be close to another Glenn Mechanical first down.
And that's right. That is a Glenn Mechanical first down for the Wildcats. They're marching down the field here. J.J. Samuel had to do some dancing in the backfield to finally find a hole where he was able just to smash through it, pick up a solid chunk of yardage, and it looks like they're going to bring Jalen Dunn in to substitute for J.J. Samuel. Jalen Dunn has done a solid job all season getting behind his run blockers, allowing them to do the work for him and him to be explosive.
We talked about this in the pregame show tonight, Jackson. That is that whole stable of running backs that El Dorado has. They can just run fresh legs in all night in that backfield. First and 10, man in motion. Jacobs is going to keep it himself. He looks to the right side, nothing there. Now he's going to try to come back to the left. Gets across the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
And
3-yard gain.
That was a smart play by Jacobs to hold on to the ball there, cut back to the other side of the field where instead of being stopped at the line of scrimmage, they're able to pick up roughly 3 yards, set up a 2nd and 7 with 7:32 left to go here in the fourth quarter of the game.
Ball is placed at the 14-yard line of the Golden Hurricanes. Wildcats with 2nd down and 7. He's going to throw now. Play action. Has a man in the end zone. Touchdown, El Dorado Wildcats. A flag comes in, but that's going to be against the defense.
And he goes ahead and signals touchdown just to clarify that flag will be against the defense. That's going to be another Murphy Arts District touchdown for the Wildcats. For more information, go to eldomad.com.
Was that Justin Hammett on the catch?
It was indeed Justin Hammett who made a phenomenal catch after being interfered with. That's going to make the score 36-14, 7:15 left here to go in the fourth quarter, and there's still an extra point attempt to go on.
We owe you a 1-minute break that we'll give you as soon as this extra point is kicked. The officials are meeting with Coach Hill over on the far sideline. They're asking where he wants to enforce the penalty. They're going to assess it on the kickoff, yeah.
That's a smart decision there by Coach Hill. And so after this extra point attempt, it'll make it, depending on how it goes, it could be a 37-14 ball game.
Wait on the snap. It's back. The kick is up. And that kick is good. 37-14. Your Wildcats are on top. We'll be back in 1 minute with more El Dorado Wildcat football. That's coming up right after this.
Than ever in the store history. That's what's happening at Union Kennel and Farm Supply. A huge sale is going on right now, including 50-pound bags of deer corn, only $6.50 per bag. 50-pound bags of rice bran, marked $1 off. No one, absolutely no one, has a better selection of small animals, birds, reptiles, saltwater and freshwater fish than Union Kennel and Farm Supply, 1100 West Hillsboro in El Dorado, or call 870-864-9229.
You're tough, determined to take challenges head on. But when cancer strikes, you'll need more than strength. You'll need the right care. We provide the tools you need to fight and the compassionate care you need to keep going. Every step of the way. Carti. We're with you.
And welcome back to Memorial Stadium here in El Dorado, Arkansas. I'm Sandy Sanford along with Jax Sanford.
And get ready for another Equipment Share kickoff. With everything from pipe fitters to excavators, get your project kicked off right with Equipment Share.
So with the penalty assessed, El Dorado will kick off from the 45-yard line of Jonesboro. That ball will go in and out of the back of the end zone. 37-14 is your score. Jax, we heard a fan from the Golden Hurricanes yelling at the team from the stands. First of all, probably not the most effective technique. to cheer your team on. But secondly, he said, y'all just laid down. No, they haven't. They have fought very hard. What they've run up against is just a very physical El Dorado team.
And one of the huge key factors around the physicality of this team is, one, defensive line coach Jimmy Johnson, and being a college wrestler and having that level of physicality that he instills in his defensive linemen plays a really big factor into this.
Jonesboro moving from left to right for our radio audience. They are at their own 20-yard line, 1st and 10. They're going to empty the backfield now. Pass is behind the line of scrimmage. He's going to hit out at the 16-yard line. He may fall forward to the 17, so about a 3-yard loss on that pass play.
And that's going to keep the clock rolling. We are just now hitting the 7-minute mark left in this game. Jonesboro is going to need a couple of quick scores if they want to stand any chance at coming back in tonight's game.
2nd down and call it 12. Looking to throw. Quarterback, first option was no good. He's got to check down. He's looking downfield, trying to find somebody. Has an open man at the 40. He's at the 50. He'll run out of bounds as he comes down to about the El Dorado 42-yard line. That was a busted play, Jax. That was a good job of a receiver keeping his quarterback's field of vision. Now we have a flag down. It looks like illegal use of the hands. Did he say illegal use of the hands?
No, he said ineligible man downfield.
Well, that's what happens when you have a busted play.
That's right.
And your quarterback has to scramble around as long as he did. That's exactly what happens.
And so that big play that just happened for the Hurricanes is actually going to come back and bite them just a little bit, as it's going to be a loss of yardage due to the penalty. It's going to be a repeat of 2nd down.
They're going to place the ball at about the 13-yard line. No, it's going to be 2nd down and 17. From the shotgun with 4 wide receivers, 1 man in the backfield with the quarterback. He calls for the ball, gets the snap. He's looking downfield. He's in trouble. He's hitting the backfield and taken down for a loss back at about the 7-yard line, Jax.
And so that's going to set up a really long 3rd down for the Jonesboro Golden Hurricanes. The clock's going to continue to roll. 6:15 left to go here in the 4th quarter. And your score is 37-14. Wildcats up over the Golden Hurricanes.
3rd and 24 from the shotgun. Going to hand it off. Nope, he's going to throw it out of the backfield. Finds a man to the far side. It's complete. He's going to get across the 10 and up to about the 15-yard line.
That's going to set up a long 4th down for the Golden Hurricanes. 5 minutes, 45 seconds left to go here in the 4th quarter. And it looks like they are going to send the special teams unit out. So it will be a punted ball here. So the Golden Hurricanes did all of that work to get the field position that they did after taking over, after a turnover on downs out on their own goal line, just to have the punter with his heels on the goal line now as he gets ready to punt the ball away.
Jonesboro having to run a man in late here on the play. Punter stands back at about his own 1-yard line. Snap is good. It's off the side of his foot, and it's going to bounce at about the 30-yard line. It'll go up to about the 34, and El Dorado will take over 1st down and 10 from the 34 of the Golden Hurricanes. 5:06 remaining here in the ballgame. 37-14, your Wildcats are on top.
Jonesboro ate a lot of clock with that possession just to have to punt the ball away, and the Wildcats getting to take over in Golden Hurricane territory. Wildcats are going to come out, run the ball as much as they can here, and just try and run this clock down to 0.
Tonight's game is also being brought to you by our friends at Mystic Creek. Rated the #1 golf course in Arkansas by Golf Week magazine in the rolling timberlands of South Arkansas. Check them out. GolfMysticCreek.com is the website. El Dorado's going to hand it off. He's going to get across the 30 to near the 26-yard line. I think they're going to mark him down at the 27. And with that, it'll be a gain of about 7 yards. It'll bring up 2nd down and 3.
And so that's going to bring us under the 5-minute mark. Jeremiah Warner on the carry there.
Again, another fresh set of legs in that backfield.
I was just about to say that was his first carry of the night. And so Wildcats are going to take some time here, figure out what play they're going to run, take some time before they get set, just let as much clock roll as they can.
Under 4.5 minutes remaining in the ball game. 37-14, El Dorado on top. There's a handoff going to go over the far side. Not a lot there. He'll pick up maybe a yard, and it'll bring up third down and about 2.
And the Wildcats, given the circumstances, are very likely to come away with the win tonight. This is going to be a huge win that will guarantee them the 3 seed.
At least.
And so you know they've got to finish the game still, but you know that these Wildcats are feeling high and mighty right now.
Under 4 minutes remaining here in the ball game. 37-14. El Dorado Wildcats are on top from the shotgun with 4 wide receivers. Hand it off, come back to the near side. Little running room, 25-20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, El Dorado Wildcats. Jeremiah Warner, the junior running back. That fresh set of legs came in, Jackson. No one could catch him. You could dust him for Prince. You're not going to find any on him.
Not going to find any on him. So that's going to bring the score 43-14 with another Murphy Arts District touchdown for the Wildcats with an extra point attempt coming on the way here. 3:34 left on the clock here in the fourth quarter. And what a run by Warner.
Yes.
Was just able to breeze through the field of play there and get a touchdown. The kick is up, and it is going to be good. That's going to make your score 44-14. Wildcats lead over the Jonesboro Golden Hurricanes. 3:34 left. We'll be right back after this at southarkansasnow.com. And
Bad things happen, and of course, they never happen at the right time. Maybe it's just a little bump and cosmetic damage, or it's turned into a huge insurance claim, and you just don't know where to go next. That's why so many of your neighbors and friends call on Cook's Body Shop in El Dorado. From the minor to the major, Cook's Body Shop is in your corner. Need someone to help you deal with insurance? Look to Cooks. Need advice on what to do next? Look to Cooks. Need a free estimate? Look to Cooks. Bad things are going to happen, and when they do, look to Cooks.
When it comes to protecting your home or business, trust the name that's been serving South Arkansas for 3 generations, Cross Roofing and Sheet Metal. From residential roofs to large commercial projects, the experienced team at Cross delivers quality you can see and reliability you can count on. Cross Roofing and Sheet Metal, built on trust, proven by results. Call Cross Roofing today. Put a solid future over your head.
Welcome back to Memorial Stadium in El Dorado, Arkansas for another equipment share kickoff. The Wildcats come up on the ball and they're going to kick it, and it's going to be fielded by the Hurricanes at about the 22. Gets back across the 25, up to the 30, 35, and be brought down at about the 41-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Hurricanes there.
There's 3 minutes and 29 seconds left to go in the game tonight. Hurricanes are going to get good field possession to start this drive, but is it too little too late?
Well, I think at this point, Jax, you're talking about a 30-point ball game. It's a foregone conclusion.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Wildcats certainly have earned this win tonight. Again, this is a very physical, very, very good Jonesboro team, and there is little question that they still have all the makings to do great things in the playoffs.
That's right. So tonight was a fight for at least the 3rd seed from both teams, and that's not a loss to the Wildcats here isn't going to disqualify the Golden Hurricanes from playoff chances at all.
The Wildcats, I think the latest information I saw said that if nothing changes, the Wildcats will play Lake Hamilton in the first round, but it looks like it will be there. It's a pass play by the Golden Hurricanes. It's going to be a 10-yard pass. It's enough for a first down. It puts them at the 45-yard line of El Dorado.
Speaking about Lake Hamilton, I know earlier in the season they lost a big game by a lot to a rival Lakeside.
Yeah, Lakeside's no joke. Under 3 minutes remaining. Officials have a stoppage on the field. 3 minutes, 14 seconds, they say, is what's supposed to be on the game clock. So at some point, they didn't stop the clock when they should have.
Mm-hmm. And so Golden Hurricanes get ready here to snap the ball.
1st and 10 for the Golden Hurricanes. Going to hand it off to the near side, nowhere to go. I said that just as I did. He ran out of what appeared to be a stoppage of forward momentum, and he is going to come down and pick up 5 yards, get to the 40-yard line.
And Coach Chris Ezel over on the sideline helping run the chain gang was able to make a big dodge right there to avoid taking a hit.
Quarterback's going to throw now. He has a man, but it's thrown into double coverage. It is caught! What a great catch in the end zone. He put it again, Jackson. The only person who could catch it was his guy. A 45-yard touchdown, a 40-yard touchdown pass.
And he is slow to get up. He took a hard fall as he got a shoestring tackle by the Wildcats defensive backs, and he's going to limp off the field with the help of a couple of teammates.
And man, what a catch. That was, again, this quarterback for Jonesboro, the touch that he has on his ball is amazing.
I mean, that was spectacularly placed. Again, like you said, nobody was going to be able to catch that except for his man, and that is a huge thing for a quarterback to be able to do.
Just that ball gets up in the air, and it turns over, and it just drops nose down, and only your guy can catch it. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that separates starting quarterbacks from backups. Extra point attempt is about to take place here on the field. 44-20 our score. Waiting on this extra point. The snap is back. We have flags down. That's going to be against the kicking team.
Offsides.
Oh, it's going to be
defense.
offsides against El Dorado.
Okay, so encroachment.
Yeah, half the distance. So that'll put the ball at about the 2.5-yard line, I believe.
And there's still some.
Wow, we heard that from up here.
We won't repeat that on the air.
If those of you who did hear it, that was the official talking to the coach from Jonesboro and told him stay where you at or leave. That's tough. I don't know what he said, but it got his attention. They declined the penalty, incidentally, so we're going to go for the extra point kick again. That kick is up. And that kick is good. 44-21 your score. We'll be back with more El Dorado Wildcats and Jonesboro Golden Hurricane football coming up right after this.
Hitting a buck to hang on the wall rarely happens by accident. It starts with preparation, takes some skill, and often even a little luck. Country Village Sporting Goods is your headquarters for all three. Right now, check out a brand new shipment of feeders, so new that they're still pulling them out of the boxes. A huge selection of lacrosse boots and plenty of warm weather camo for that early season hunt. And of course, bow hunters can't go wrong with the sales and service at Country Village Sporting Goods, 965 Smackover Highway in El Dorado.
Spice up your tailgate with locally raised farm fresh products at Davis Farms Country Market, like the new Code 3 and Davis Double D Farm Salsa, fresh from the field in locally grown purple hull peas, super sweet vine ripened cantaloupes, Arkansas made meals that are easy on your wallet and your time. And nothing says fall has arrived like mums and pumpkins. There are plenty to choose from at Davis Farms Country Market, 4523 Junction City Highway, or call 870-639-1323.
Welcome back to First Financial Field at Memorial Stadium in beautiful El Dorado, Arkansas. I'm Sandy Sanford along with Jax Sanford. And
get ready for another equipment share kickoff with everything from specialty tools to heavy equipment. You can get your project kicked off right with equipment share. Looks like they are going to take a timeout, but
yeah, we'll keep it right here. El Dorado called a timeout, and I don't know if it was the personnel on the field, if it was too many men, I don't know. Whatever it was the coaches saw, they wanted to change it up real quick. And 44-21 is your score, 23-point game. So it is still a 3-score contest with 2:57 remaining here in the ball game. But Jax, as we mentioned earlier, this Jonesboro team has proven they can score from 40 yards out on one snap of the ball.
That's right. That's right. And this Wildcat offense has proceeded to put up over 40 points now 2 weeks in a row.
Yes.
And has just continued to be explosive and be the Wildcat offense that we've known them to be all season.
We'll have some stats for you in the Dyson Service Company postgame show.
Oh.
Wildcats are still having a problem getting lined up on special teams, and I can promise you there's a coach losing his mind on that sideline right now.
Coach Larry is going to be – oh.
It is an onside kick. And it looks like El Dorado has recovered it at their own 49-yard line.
And a special attempt at a trick play there on the onside kick from the Golden Hurricanes. Wildcats are still able to recover the ball, take possession here at the 49-yard line. And with 2 minutes and 57 seconds left in the game here, it is going to be a run fest, I would assume.
I would think so, yes. So 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. Again, at their own 49-yard line, we have a change in the guard, Jax.
Looks like number 11, which I believe is Gavin Jacobs, is going to come into the game.
Gavin Jacobs comes in as the quarterback. 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 1 man in the backfield. Takes the snap, handoff. Come back to the near side. Not much there, maybe a loss of a yard.
And that was number 28, Jeremiah Warner, on the carry there for the Wildcats, the junior running back, getting his second drive out on the field tonight.
Ball is at the 48-yard line. 2:36 remaining in the ball game. El Dorado on top, 44-21. Gavin Jacobs, who is by last week's game, showed he has everything it takes to be the starting quarterback next year for the Wildcats.
If only it wasn't for an older relative named Cannon.
Yeah, he could have been the starter this year, yeah. There's the snap. They're going to hand it off again. It's going to go straight up the gut across the midfield stripe and get down to about the 47-yard line.
Big pile there on the football, but Jeremiah Warner did a great job of powering up the middle, gaining an extra couple of yards, pushing the pile forward. So that's going to set up 3rd and 6 for the Wildcats. Under 2 minutes left now in the game. And the Wildcats are waiting for the play call to come in from the sideline. Oh, and we've got another quarterback.
Yeah. I was going to say Ryan Polk, the sophomore, has now come in as quarterback for the Wildcats. On 3rd down, Jonesboro showing blitz. 1.5 minutes remain here in this contest. Handoff, left side, hit in the backfield. What a big hit. My, oh, my.
Ooh, that knocked the breath out of me. That was a big hit coming in from the Golden Hurricanes. Jeremiah Warner is going to get up, and they're going to take another timeout here.
We'll keep it right here. Kenneth Douglas, the linebacker from the senior linebacker from Jonesboro, is who put that hit on him. And my goodness gracious, that was a massive hit.
It was indeed a huge hit. And I want to remind everybody that tonight's coverage is brought to you in part by Cook's Body Shop. Listen, bad things happen. Maybe it's a fender bender. Maybe it's a major insurance claim. But when it happens, look to Cook's.
And speaking of some of those things that we need to be talking about, for our radio audience back in Jonesboro, want to remind you the postgame show coming up for the radio side is the America's Navy postgame show. And be a part of the force that never quits. Visit Navy.com to find out more. El Dorado Wildcats on 4th down now. 4th and 7 from the shotgun. Gonna throw. Across the middle. Complete. At the 40. 1st down. 35. And he'll get dunked down at about the 34-yard line. And that's a 14-yard gain, Jackson. Enough for another Glenn Mechanical 1st down.
Jackson Pagan on the crossing route there, just able to reel it in and shed a tackle or two before being brought down. And now he's actually going to come off the field, and they're going to bring number 12,
Cortland Rozier.
Cortland Rozier in his spot back in the slot.
Yes. Slot at the top of your screen is Rozier. 1 man at the bottom of your screen, that's Justin Hammock. Snap, handoff, looking to go to the outside, gets the lane, gets it to the 30. He'll go across the 30 and be knocked down at about the 29. Yeah, they're going to mark him right at the 29-yard line. That's a 5-yard gain and brings up 2nd down and 5 with about 38 seconds remaining in the ball game.
About 8 seconds separating the play clock and the game clock. There will be time for just one more play here left in tonight's game.
I see the official telling the Tell him he's going to kneel, so don't come in and hit him. There's the snap. He will take a knee, and that will be your ball game. El Dorado comes out on top, 44-21. We're going to take a 2-minute break for our radio partners, a 2-minute break, and we will be back with your post-game show coming up right after this.
Homes are typically heated or cooled 24/7, 365, using nearly half of all home energy. That new stainless steel refrigerator may look cool, but upgrading to the quietest and most efficient HVAC system can have much greater rewards. Choose a system with a Wi-Fi enabled thermostat, so the most important appliance in the house is also the smartest, allowing you to set the perfect comfort level from anywhere. Presented by Lennox. Learn what perfect feels like at Lennox.com.
Need equipment for your next job? Don't settle for the traditional rental experience.
The rental experience with Equipment Share is a great experience. We rent everything from dozers to skid loaders, mini excavators, even smaller hand tools. They've always got what we need. They're timely. The billing is quick and accurate. The guys are able to set it up. They do it through their phone. I love Equipment Share. Renting with Equipment Share is not like any other company out there. It's 1,000 times better.
For nearly 50 years, South Arkansas floors have been covered by El Dorado Custom Carpets. And not just carpets, but true hardwood, laminate, stone, porcelain, ceramic, marble, and more. And guess what? It doesn't end with just floors. El Dorado Custom Carpets carries a tremendous selection of backsplash, wall tile, and area rugs. The truth of the matter is, one commercial can't come close to telling you everything you can find at El Dorado Custom Carpets, 1601 East Main Street in El Dorado. Call 870-862-4945.
With a name you trust, you can count on us. Glen Mechanical, plumbing, heating, and air.
For over 6 decades, Glen Mechanical has been specializing in HVAC, plumbing, and all mechanical jobs. 3 generations family-owned and operated since 1956. Glen Mechanical's business is based on relationships. They support and give back to the communities they work in. Contact them for all of your HVAC, plumbing, and mechanical needs. GlenMechanical.com.
Welcome to your postgame show, brought to you by Dyson Service Company, your local Lennox dealer. Now is not the time to find out that your heat or your AC unit can't keep up. Call Russell Dyson and his crew today, 870-862-0409. This is what perfect feels like. Let's go back to the stadium for a recap of tonight's action with your Dyson Service Company postgame show.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here in the ProMed Ambulance press box. I'm Sandy Sanford along with Jax Sanford, and you see the score there on your screen. For those of you watching via our YouTube channel, our Facebook page, or our website at southarkansasnow.com. For those of you listening by radio at KNEA in Jonesboro, the final score tonight, El Dorado 44, Jonesboro 21. Jax, this score does not indicate how much fight there was on that field tonight.
There was a level of physicality on the field tonight that I don't think is met at the high school level in many schools across the country, let alone the state. And so tonight's game, it really shows how good both of these teams are. And again, the score is not indicative of how well the Jonesboro team played. They were able to keep a level of physicality about them that challenged El Dorado. However, El Dorado just was able to run the ball and run the ball and run the ball. And then when it was situations where they wanted to pass it, they had open men because of their ability to run the ball so far. So I don't think it's a discount on the Jonesboro Golden Hurricanes in the slightest in saying that, because El Dorado has been a solid ball team all year, only having 2 conference losses now so far, moving to a record of 6-3 overall now, with the 3rd loss coming at the beginning of the season to a 7A Little Rock Christian Academy team, where really they only lost in the first half of that game. They gave up a lot of quick scores and just had to fight from behind.
You know, I was just going over some stats here, looking, and just on the El Dorado side, and we'll get to the Jonesboro stats in just a moment. El Dorado rushed the ball 37 times. That's probably a season low for them.
Absolutely. We saw more passing attack from the El Dorado offense tonight than we've seen in any game all season long. And it paid out for the Wildcats. They had several explosive plays. They were able to hit Jackson Pagan on several crossing or drag routes.
when you say explosive plays, you have to talk about Jonesboro.
That's right.
This quarterback from Jonesboro, I'm telling you, this young man can drop the ball anywhere on the field he wants to. And other than the one pass that went just basically directly to a Wildcat, he was very stingy with the ball and where he could put it where no one else could get it.
He absolutely had the finesse that you want to see out of your quarterback, especially at the high school level, and he definitely has a future playing football somewhere.
Let me say this. For the El Dorado Wildcat fans, you'll remember this. John Thomas Shepard, who's now Judge Shepard, had been quarterback at El Dorado. He went on to play college football at Rice University. He came back and was practicing with then sophomore Taylor Reed. Mm-hmm. They were here at Memorial Stadium at First Financial Field practicing. And John Thomas, I asked him later, I said, well, what do you think? What does our future look like? He said, man, let me tell you something. You could put a dollar bill down the field 25 yards away and he'll hit it with the nose of the football. And he said, that's the difference. When you can put the ball where no one else can get it other than your guy, that's the difference. And that's what we saw from Jonesboro's quarterback tonight. That young man has got a future throwing the ball around the field.
Unfortunately for the Golden Hurricanes, the pass protection just wasn't able to hold up. He had to get rid of the ball several times before he ever wanted to. And there were several times where he was able to do so well. And it still resulted in positive yard gainage for the Golden Hurricanes. However, can't talk about quarterback play without talking about how phenomenal Cannon Jacobs played tonight. Cannon went on a tangent of just hitting men in open field. Oh, you guys are expecting a pass. Well, I'm just going to keep it myself and run it for 12, 15 yards.
So they came out with what I called a very new look. We've seen them run it maybe a couple of times this year where they would take the running back and put him in motion and empty the backfield. And then the defense had to try to adjust to a 5 wide receiver set. Well, they did somewhat. But when they did that, then Jacobs would just keep the ball and take off. And it'd be 12, 15, 18, 20 yards before anyone even touched him after that. And that was what they did all night, back and forth. I would bet that the defensive coordinator from Jonesboro is still scratching his head trying to figure out, I haven't seen them do that this year. Where did that come from?
It really was just great play calling by Coach Hill, and a great job by the offensive coordinating team because I know that they do it in tangent over at El Dorado between Coach Borowski and man,
Andrew,
Coach Andrews. No, that's not it.
No,
man. Hey, Coach, listen, I know you're going to watch this here in a little bit. I deserve all the shame.
Yes.
Shame me.
Yes.
Shame me.
Yeah. What does Cannon's brother coach?
Coach Caleb Jacobs, he's the safeties coach.
Safeties coach, okay. Well, we're going to quit guessing.
Yeah, that's right.
We're not getting any closer.
No, and the thing is I'm seeing his face, and I'm just blanking on his name.
I am too. It's one of those like
yeah, exactly.
I see it. It's right there. It's on the tip of my tongue. You know, Jax, I have to say this, to step back in the booth after a 13-year hiatus for me and to come in and see this level of play. You know, I've heard y'all, and honestly, when you and Carter were doing the games and I would hear y'all talk about the physicality, I could see it a little bit because I normally, for our audience out there, I normally produce this show from the studio. So I'm at the studio, I'm watching on the screen. I could see, the really big hits, but I didn't realize across the board and to come in and watch this level of physicality, because, again, remember, the last teams that I called El Dorado games for was the Scott Reed era. Mm-hmm. And you talk about physical.
Oh, yeah.
You had Bijan Jackson and you had the Ford boys and Luke Lansdale. And, you had that head-hunting killer defense. And so I was just like, they can't be that physical. Well, folks, let me just tell you something. Yes, they are. From someone who's been watching it on screen to actually being in the stadium, yes, they are that physical. This El Dorado team is one of the most physical teams I think I've ever seen here at the high school.
I mean, I have to agree with you, and obviously I don't have as much experience as you do, but
you just called me old.
I did. I was sitting here thinking it to myself, I'm going to call him old without calling him old. But I have been around the game for quite a long time now, whether it be in this capacity or working alongside the football team as an athletic trainer. I've been around the game for a while, and to know that this high school level defense is able to bring the punishment and the level of physicality that they are, it gives me faith to know that they very well could make a very deep playoff run.
They could. They certainly could. So again, for our viewing audience, it is at southarkansasnow.com, our Facebook page, our YouTube channel. This is the Dyson Service Company postgame show. For our radio audience who's listening via KNEA in Jonesboro, this is the America's Navy postgame show. For more information on that, you can always go to Navy.com and be a part of the crew that never quits. And we appreciate them. I want to say personally, I appreciate Eastern Arkansas broadcasters. I appreciate Scott Seiler, my friend who for 20 plus years now, who called me and said, man, if I wasn't in such a bad spot, I wouldn't call you. Yeah, I'm old. He said, but man, I don't have anybody. I mean, we even tried to give some money to the hobo down the street to go do the game, and he wouldn't do it. So will you? Can we use your audio? Yes. I appreciate it so much. It is an honor for us to sit in on tonight's game for our audience back in Northeast Arkansas. That's going to pretty much wrap it up for us, Jax. Again, I did say I would come up with some stats. El Dorado, 37 rushes for 265 yards.
On the low end of so far this season.
Yeah, the Wildcats were 12 for 19. No, that's not right. That was 12. 16. They were 16 for 19 for 204 yards. Jonesboro running the ball. They looked like they ended up with about 132 yards. 141 yards. And then through the air, they ended up with just under 180 yards through the air. And again, Jonesboro broke off a big run and had a big touchdown pass. But again, not indicative of this team and their ability, because this Jonesboro team they've got their stuff put together. We really appreciate all of you tuning in. We're going to call it a night here from Memorial Stadium at First Financial Field. He's Jax Sanford. I'm Sandy Sanford. God bless and be a good sport.
Gift tells a story, and at Especially For You, they help you make it unforgettable. Birthdays, wedding showers, baby showers, graduations, or just anyone can buy a gift card, but the best gifts aren't bought, they're made at Especially For You. Stop by and visit Especially For You and find the perfect gift for life's special moments.
Buying this boat was a total no-brainer.
Okay, I get it. You say no-brainer and the guy with no brain shows up?
I'm sorry, we met our new boat.
For a new boat? You don't call me. You call State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is...
There?
I was gonna say that.
He's right. Your State Farm agent can help you choose the right coverage for your new boat and your RV. It's kind of a no-brainer. Easy decision.
All right.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.